Look at that, starting 7 minutes early. That's got to be a first. How's everyone doing? Today it's going to be King of the Hill, so just very much a casual stream. Gonna have some fun, play some battles here. Well, I'm not going to be playing, but we will be having our mighty champions here in chat doing battle. So if anybody would like to join, the password is simply going to be 1234, and it's just going to be called Turin King of the Hill. So the lobby will be going up here in just a second. So let me get this bad boy set up. So Turin King of the Hill. Password is going to be 1234. The most glorious and probably commonly. I wonder if 1234 is used as much as 123 in terms of passwords. Well, I suppose there's no way of ever knowing that. How's it going, everyone? All right, lobby is officially up. Anybody who would like to join, come join the party. It's open to all. First come, first serve. And we'll get going on these maps. I know. Andy, it's madness. Never do we start early. The Heretic. Oh, I like that, Jacob. Yeah, no webcam today. It's a little bit hot here, so I'm just, going shirtless in the boxers. Trying to be economical with the heat here. So we're doing it. That's the same password as your luggage, yeah. That's pretty fun. I mean, I feel like if somebody stole your luggage, though, it wouldn't be that hard to just break through like a suitcase, unless you have like one of those crazy metal ones. They're like tin or whatever the hell they're made of. Like, I see people with, like, locks on their suitcases. I guess it's to prevent, like, petty, quick theft in airports. Like, somebody just opening it real quick and grabbing something and then, like, leaving the bag. But yeah, somebody just took the whole thing. I know, Sigmar Bless, man. I spent most of last night actually painting Karl Franz. He's almost done. I think one more session and I'll be done with the Franz. And then I'll probably do a video showing you guys my Empire guys. But yeah, very, very excited. I gotta finish some handgunners, too. Yeah, Franz is almost done. I'm doing a very different scheme, though. My Karl Franz is going to be having black armor and, like, purple feathers. Kind of like midnight black. It's a pretty cool looking scheme. Hey, so our first match here, we have Contende versus Human Boy. Contende starts, pick, and double. Contende starts, pick, and double ban. Actually, you know what we can do? Contende starts, pick 3, ban 1. Good luck, have fun. All right, cool. We're going to be jumping on over to the lobbies now. I think it's this one. And, oh, we still have Hadri's from last time. He was our previous king. I forgot to change that. We'll get that all adjusted. Look at that. Power of technology, man. I had to do that one manually, so a little bit janky there. Also been binge watching Stargate SG-1. Been quite a bit of fun. Watching those like shows from the 90s, always a good time. All right, so they're going to do their picks and bans. We're on Castle Drakenhof for our first map of the day. And it should be picking up the... Yeah, there we go. Okay, I can see the lobbies and everything now. Well, YouTube didn't tell me about this, but my phone started beeping. Oh, yeah, speaking of, I should probably do a Twitter announcement. I'm like the worst. I'm like the worst at this YouTube thing. So terrible. All right, let's do this. Please, YouTube, don't play any music in the background. Of course, it starts playing an ad right away. Very cool. I came for Aragorn, I stayed for the commentary. Dude, I know. I gotta rewatch Lord of the Rings, the trilogy. Just have one of those balls deep days where you just like watch all the extended editions in one go of it. I did do that, but it's been, I think the last time I did all the extended editions marathons was with my friend Ian, and that would have been in what? 2010? 2009? It would have been a long time ago. Yeah, Teal'c is fun. I haven't seen Babylon 5 yet. No, that's something I definitely do intend to catch up on there. So, all right, let me go ahead and do a Discord thing. And we'll get this party started. All right, all right. Perfect. And there we go. Look at that. All right, so for the first match of the day, it looks like we are going to get... all right, so Contende picks the Cows, the Sigmarites, and the Britonians, and he bans... Human Boys, yes. So he's banning Skaven. Okay. So it looks like we have Vampire Coast coming in for Human Boy. That's going to be his pick. And then we have the Beastman. Oh, man. Building up that hype, man. The Beastman train is certainly on the way. And here, Contende is going to be giving it one last go here on the channel with the Haggard Beastman. Jack O'Neill, always the MVP. Yeah, he's great, too. Yeah, I'll definitely watch it, Harmon. 100%. 100%. Yeah, the extended editions are amazing. There's a lot of nice little touches. I understand why they cut the films for the theaters, Just like appealing to a more general audience, I think having them be a little bit tighter probably makes sense for the Lord of the Rings trilogy. But again, I think for like anyone who's a fantasy fan, like the extended editions are amazing. I mean, for anyone, like I think once you've watched it the first time, you know, it's really cool to discover those niche scenes and things like that. Jedi Mazda Mundi, welcome to the Dukes of Haggard. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. It is time. Yeah, so currently, like I said, I was painting Karl Franz last night. I got a Celestial Huracanum. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but so Celestial Huracanums are a missing piece of the Empire roster. The Empire's missing a couple characters. They're missing Ludwig Schwarzhelm, I think is his name. They have another guy. God, there's like two of them. They're pretty similar. One of them is the Reichsmarschall, and the other one is I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyways, and they're also missing a Celestial Huracanum and a couple other unit variants on their roster. But the Celestial Huracanum is one I think we'll get in Game 3 is like an FLC. I mean, there could be a DLC too. You could do like the Empire versus like one of the Chaos, factions, and have like Ludwig be there and give them the Celestial Huracanum and like maybe some sort of cool knightly order or something. I think that'd be really cool for the Sons of Sigmar. All in due time. Should do a YouTube watch party with Lord of the Rings. That'd be pretty fun, yeah. Jedi Mazda Money. Some reason your membership didn't renew. Yeah, sometimes you have to do it automatically, but welcome back, man. Because I remembered, yeah, you were already a member here on the channel. All right, so Beastman versus Coast. This is a matchup that I think a lot of Coast players used to actually dislike back in the day. In my anecdotal experience, the Beastmen have a relatively decent win rate here, but then Vampire Coast players figured out they could just do these really, really just degenerate boxes where essentially you just have like 3 crab characters, you have 2 gunnery whites, you have scab scrates, and you just have the gunbats abuse the Beastman Air Force with fellbats. But I mean, that's not to say Beastmen can't deal with it. They can bring like harpies and things like that and swarm. So I actually like Beastmen against Coast. I still think Coast probably maybe slightly advantaged here, but you know, I think good Beastmen players can win this. So we'll see how this goes. And Contende is one of the few Beastmen mains out there. There's not too many. I think there's probably like, you can count them on one hand. You can count them on one hand. Yeah. I really hope we'll see a Celestial Huracanum at some point in Warhammer 3. Yeah, I think we're going to. I mean, it's a very iconic unit. In tabletop, it's actually pretty good too. The Celestial Huracanum, it has this Storm of Shemtech ability, I think is what it's called. So it has this like way of shooting mortal wounds out. It also has a caster mounted on it, so it can like, you know, cast Combative Cassandora and Chain Lightning, which is really cool. And it also buffs nearby allies. So unlike the not the Celestial, the Templehof Luminarch or the Luminarch of Heish, the Huracanum has like some AoE buffs, which is pretty cool. So like putting it next to like handgunners, potentially it like buffs them. Because in tabletop it buffs the hit rolls, I think by 1 of nearby units within like 10 inches in its current rendition. So I would imagine it'll be close to that. I'm not quite sure how it worked in 8th edition, but in its current rendition in tabletop, that's what it does. So it could happen. Taco is our Beastman main of choice. Yeah, Flying Taco, yeah. I feel like every clan has to have one dreaded Beastman main just to send a message and send shivers down the spine of their foes. I assume it has something to do with poking Turin in his Discord to join the King of the Hill. Yeah, anyone can join. The lobby's open. You just got to be quick on the draw. That is pretty much it. So it looks like Contende is ready, sending a message to his vampiric opponent that the Beastmen stand ready. Hooves, good to go. Empire needs Toddy's roster. Yeah, I 100% agree. I was actually shopping for some miniatures last night for old, because eventually, just from a collector's perspective, I do want to collect like old Empire miniatures. And I was looking, and the Knights of I think it's like Knights of the White Wolf, or there's basically the Ulrich Knights. They're pretty damn cool. They have like these huge maces, and I think that would be really cool. You know, and I actually would imagine that both Toddy as well as the Red Duke at some point, because there will come a time when Warhammer 3 will slow down a bit, and then they can start, exploring other stuff that, was less of a priority, right? So I think at that point we could see a Toddy faction. I think we could see a Musion faction. Apparently not Araby, according to CA, but I think there's a lot of stuff we could see. Yes. The password for the lobby is simply 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you guys are looking to join, you just got to be quick on the draw. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is that. Flying Taco says he prefers to be known as an Akai main. Flying Taco, I would perceive you as an Akai man, because the last, I think, 3 games I've seen you in have all been Akai matches. Oh my god, there's some giant death fly. God, that's like the worst thing ever. Some doom fly just flying around, and I'm recovering from hand surgery, so I'm not quick enough to swat it. End me etiquette, I am too weak. All right, so for the forces here of the Bray Herd, we have gore herds with shields in the front line. Pretty good, right? Against like basic pistols and handguns are shielded, and their combat stats really allow them to buzzsaw through the deckhand mobs pretty efficiently. Because again, they have Primal Fury, so their melee attack's going to be +5, they get a charge bonus, and they are ITP actually while that's active, so. A couple spears on the flanks, and it looks like in the backfield we do have the Arawar Cygor, the Eye of Moorsleep. Kind of cool, it does do magic damage, so the Eye of Moorsleep can potentially kill the Sirens with consistent focus fire and all that sort of good stuff, which I definitely dig. Hounds in the vanguard here from Contende, so we have one hound here. Look at this, oh my god, and it looks like Human Boy expecting this, because, you know, Beastmen do this often. So these hounds in the back, the Chaos Warhounds, are doomed, so basically 500 gold is gone here for Contende, which is a pretty rough start, for sure. Centaurs on the flanks, we got 2 of those, and it looks like in the back we do have a Wild Caster for the Vile Tide to kill magic units, Morker the Pimp Claw with his summons, and that appears to be it. Thank you so much, Alex C. Are just about to head out for a drive in our new vehicle. Hey, cheers, man. Sounds like fun. We'll catch it later. Happy pre-Canada Day from up in the north. May the best mullet win. Hell yeah, dude. I love Canada, man. Been there many times. We have a donation from Grey Salvation. Hey, Turin, new plans for a single-player campaign. Would like to see dwarves. Do you have plans to do a tournament with mid-cash? I might, yeah. And, you know, I do plan on starting as soon as, like, the DLC stuff is, I'm allowed to, you know, share it with you guys and everything. I will be doing a new campaign, 100%. Yeah, like, that's kind of the tradition here on the channel, is we do a new campaign whenever the DLCs come out. So, halberds in the front, bombers in the secondary, sirens in the back, Lamprey's Revenge with halberds into the sunset, and it's going to be the Hard Knock Life. So we do get the double gunnery white, largely due to the Scab's Graith inclusion, but there is no abuse with the gun bats. The gun bats, of course, are the really powerful synergy, but again, I guess you got to respect the Beastman Harpies. Harpies could potentially shut them down, but if you had gun bats here, there's no Harpies. Like, Contende would have probably instantly lost the game. But you got to roll the dice, man, and that is that. Here we go. So let us know your predictions. Who do you guys think is going to win? Is it going to be the dreaded Cygor? For once, you know, the artillery faction, the Vampire Coast, is the one that has to advance up on the Beastmen, which is pretty hilarious. Sirene's instantly taking some big casualties from the big boy here, and the Eye of Moorsleep continues to drop some huge bows. I don't think these Sirens will be long for this earth. Ooh, buddy, okay, just barely dodged that one right there. Now, on the far side of the battlefield, those 3 dire wolves were able to eviscerate those Chaos Hounds and push them off the battlefield. Vile Tide going down from Contende, but a little bit of a miss. It does hit the halberds and not the Sirens, but you know, I think the big old Cygor also... Oh my god, look at that Shade Wraith. Not Shade Wraith, excuse me, but the Wraithstorm from Count Nocturnal. That brought the Bray Shaman down to about 60%. Really, really cost effective. Nice usage. So now we get the Sirens moving in to fight Gore Herds, which is going to be pretty strong, and the other Gore Herds shall be piling in. A lot of it, of course, is going to be coming down to the backfield play. Will the Centaurs with throwing axes sitting here in the distance get consistent axe fire here on Lamprey's Revenge? That's certainly what you want to be seeing. Now, Bombers, of course, were nerfed a while back, but they're still a good unit. They're able to really take apart these Gore Herds, giving the advantage here to the forces of the Undead as the Zombie Pirate Deck and mobs really push through. Human Boy with a nice summon from Count Nocturnal is going to be blocking further pressure. So now the Beastmen really need to get in there. Going to be sacrificing Centaurs to take down Bombers, which I don't think is worth it, because what's going to happen is the 3 Scurvy Dogs are going to rear charge them, and it is going to be an unholy disaster. Maybe saving the Vile Tide right here for when the Scurvy Dogs pile in could have been the optimal play. So far, the Eye of Moorsleep still throwing some big bows, and Morker the Pimp Claw, I think, just work into the forest. Some of the Sirens are getting worn down, and Morker is battling Count Nocturnal, which is going to be a wet noodle contest of the ages. They're both very tanky characters, both of whom have healing. So that one's going to take like 10 years to potentially resolve. But yeah, the Centaur sacrifice, not worth it, right? You throw away a 700 gold unit to not even fully finish off a bomber unit, which had already accrued some pretty good value. Now we do get some Warhounds of Chaos flanking in the back, going to be rear charging the doggies here. I think maybe getting a Centaur throwing axe in here to help in melee against the Scurvy Dogs could be helpful. But here comes the spawn summon. So Contende getting a spawn summon out of Morker. They're going to be moving in, but they will be intercepted by basically just polearm chaff as well as summon chaff, which is really not a good situation for the spawn. The spawn want to be pushing through, attacking, let's say, a bomber unit, maybe piling into the Crabos and doing some kind of work there. But generally speaking, the fact that the Vampire Coast is even on the balance of power with Morker summons on the battlefield is definitely important for Doom here for the poor Beastmen. I think the sad moves may be on the horizon, a little bit hard to tell. Centaurs with throwing axes being hunted by the big Scurvy Dog blob. And I've noticed this. I played a couple games against Dov lately with his, he was playing with Coast, and, you know, I think a lot of people saw Anticity's playstyle where he had like a big goon squad of Scurvy Dogs in the backfield just hunting things. And Yeah, it seems to be a really common thing in tandem with the gunnery whites. Gunnery white shooting, Cygor is okay in ammunition, but balance of power is starting to become pretty coast favored. There still is a fair amount of Beastmen. We got some Gors in here, Sons of Goros chopping through those units. And looking around, what does the Vampire Coast have left? Okay, they got the big Unholy Legion of Scurvy Dogs. They do also have a couple halberds, double gunnery whites, of course, which pretty much have infinite ammo. Robert, thank you for becoming a channel member. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard. And here's your Cygor. The Cygor continuing to drop bows. What is he throwing at? Let's go ahead and watch. Value accrued probably about 500, I would imagine. Only 258. But he's throwing the boulders right now at the Lamprey's Revenge, which if it can hit them, it can actually do some decent damage. The Gorehords with shields. Nice little charge bonus on those bad boys, even without the Primal Fury, but it looks like it's still active. So they do get in there and immediately start to melt those zombies. You know, the Beastmen could play a pretty nice attrition game, I suppose. I mean, if they can clear out all this support, like the halberds and the doggos. The dogs are so good against Beastmen for just like chasing down low leadership stuff. Normally it's kind of hard for factions to chase Beastmen off because they're so fast and generally they have good map control, but Scurvy Dogs are very quick. They have, what, 95 speed, so they're, you know, more or less faster than Centigors, depending on the state of their Primal Fury. And they can cause some problems. So Archer's shooting in, but it looks like it's going to be the end of the Archers. Contende definitely needs to grab those Sons of Goros and bounce out and go after these Scurvy Dogs. Try and peel them off the Archers, because these Archers are super clutch right now. I mean, they're getting really good volley fire. Probably have honestly done more damage value than the Eye of Morsley. But now the Sons of Goros, as well as the Chariot's going to be moving into the Scurvy Dogs, which should be spelling their doom. I don't know if Pimpclaw has another summon here. I think we saw the forced summon earlier, and it looks like we have some tactical reserves in the back for Human Boy as well. Some Scurvy Dogs in the back of the map here. We have some sitting here as well, who could be pretty clutch right now. If they were swarming on the Bray Shaman, it might be the end of him. Raystorm coming down. Is it going to finish him? Oh, it's so close. Negative 18 leadership, 2 leadership, 434 HP. That is the bravest Bray Shaman I've ever seen. It looks like he does stabilize there as the Raiders begin to unleash their fire once again, being salvaged from that scurvy situation. Worker the Shadow Gave, still fighting the good fight, battling against Lamprey's Revenge. A really nice invocation of Nehek going down here from Human Boy, yes. Going to be very efficient at healing up all these different units. And now the Ungor Spearman Herd's going to be piling in help once again, but the summon's kind of buffering them out. But Contende doing a pretty good job rallying his units, but I think as soon as Human Boy realizes the Scurvy Dogs are still in play, they're going to be, you know, a problem. And the Scurvy Dogs, honestly, probably will beat the Sons of Goros here. I don't know, we'll see. 27 melee defense against 26 melee attack. Doggos take a pretty big charge, though, for sure. But Sons of Goros, yeah, they might have been able to beat that one unit, but with another Scurvy Dog coming in, it's going to probably seal their doom, as long as Human Boy does see this. Could there be some miracle plays? I think army losses will probably kick in soon-ish. Eye of Morsley, you know, still throwing some bombardments, and I do like the Eye of Morsley pick against magic units, Sirens, and also as something to force Vampire Coast to move forward if they don't have artillery, but honestly, at the end of the day, I thought Contende's build was totally fine. I think there was a couple execution mistakes. I think some of the Centigors being sacrificed early was a big mistake. The 2 throwing axe Centigors got sacrificed against Scurvy Dogs for very little trade. So it's just a couple inefficient trades from the Beastmen. I don't think that necessarily it was like a bad army or anything like that. So GG, well played. Password is 1234 Ice Power. And that is the first match. And the current King of the Hill is going to be Human Boy, yes. Well played to our mighty resident Beastman master, Contende. And Human Boy also for a pretty fun little build here. Count Noctuals. It was kind of refreshing not seeing gunnery bats. Bombers were pretty neat. We got to see the old Lamprey boys. 1,000 value on the Cygor. And yeah, the Centigors getting shut down was pretty brutal. Yeah, the poor Goreherds also just got massacred. All right, so let us go ahead and update this. The current King of the Hill is going to be Human Boy. So I'm just going to do Human Boy for now. It'll fit a little bit better in the nameplate. You guys will actually be able to read it. And let's go ahead and do it. All right. There we go. Oh my god, it's not centered. Curses! Curse the Baggins! Because then when I like type in 2, it's like, you know, I got to recenter that. It's just all this drama. Sad moo sounds, yep. So we got Neil Batman here. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and switch the map. Let's go ahead and do the Bloodpine Woods is actually kind of a cool map. I feel like it's one that's very underrated. The Great Hadries actually showed it to me. It's a campaign map for the Empire. Or, excuse me, quest battle map. Hey. Human Boy picks 3. So for anyone joining, a winner will do the pick 3 system. All right, so they're chatting. They're having a good time. Sad moves indeed, Contende, but you know, they can't all be happy moves. So there'll be plenty of happy moves in the near future, I'm sure. Map is set here. So Human Boy is picking his 3 factions right now. Thank you all for joining, by the way. We're just getting started, about 20 minutes into the stream, and yeah, we're getting the good times are rolling, man. The good times are rolling. Robert, thanks again for becoming a member. Greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoy the new emojis. Sad moves they're only short term. They are only short term. Let's see some Skaven. Well, if Human Boy has his way, unless Neil decides to ban them again, we'll see. So Human Boy is going Skaven, Vampires, and Lizards for his 3 factions. And now Neil needs to go ahead and pick here. So he needs to ban one of Human Boy's 3 factions and then pick one of his own. And then Human Boy basically picks from the remaining 2. So the way that kind of pick and ban system works is that, you know, it's kind of cool because, like, you know, the defender or the guy who's picking 3 has the choice of 2 factions, and you can kind of assure that one of your factions will at least be good against, you know, a couple of them. It's a good pick and ban system. I like it quite a bit. Hey, Contende, take care, man. Thanks for playing. How's it going, Battle Tutorial? Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Hope your channel's going well. I've got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell. Vlad, is there a Twitch channel or YouTube? Just YouTube. Yeah, I don't do anything on Twitch at the moment. I've thought about starting a Twitch channel for, like, off content, so, like, for Magic the Gathering and things like that, but yeah, I prefer the YouTube platform. So even though YouTube punishes you for streaming, it's really stupid. Like, if you want to put up a video and stream in the same day, like, your video is going to do, like, super shitty, generally speaking, unless you're just such a massive channel that, you know, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's really annoying. So, like, if you want to, like, stream and put up video content, it's, like, hard to do both. But again, you can, like, alternate. Yeah, the mullet's pretty serious right now. I don't have the webcam on today because it's really hot and I'm just sitting here shirtless and stuff, and, you know, I don't want to be that guy. So yeah, the mullet will be back soon, though. Next time we have, like, a big stream of some sort. Well, the heat wave. LA was, like, in the 90s yesterday. It was pretty rough, but today it's cooled down a bit. I think it's, like, in the low 80s, which is pretty reasonable. All right, so we got Chaos versus, we got Chaos versus Coast, which is fine. Just spam halberds, bring Sigvald. Make sure you have plenty of horsemen to deal with gunbats. That's, you know, the gunbat spam is the really degenerate way to play this matchup. And it's the most efficient way, too. Because, like, Chaos Horsemen, unless microed, like, perfectly, like, really have a hard time killing the gunbats. So, yeah. Yeah. Phosphor, that's funny, dude. Yeah, Legend does both every day for sure. But, you know, his channel's pretty big. Yeah, he's got a really big audience. So it's a little bit different. But what I have noticed, like, I've sat and, like, looked at the actual stats of it. So on days where I put up a video and stream, the video does not, like, exponentially worse, but it definitely does worse than days where I just put up a video. The streams seem to be relatively unaffected, but yeah. You know, maybe it's just my channel. Maybe it's just, like, how the algorithm has perceived my channel. Maybe other people don't really have that problem, but... When do we get a pool stream? Oh my god, things are escalating here quickly. Well, I don't own one. I could get, like, one of those, like play pools that are just, like, those tiny, like, plastic ones. All right, we got Neil, Batman Freak here versus RTK Human Boy. Apparently he's got the S in his RTK title, which means, I think it means he's, like, a recruit or he's, like, a new member. He's in the initiation period. In the frat. Yeah. I've actually been enjoying Foot Archeon here. That's not bad. The problem with Foot Archeon, though, is if they have, like 3 or 4 deck dropper long rifles, they could just, like, snipe them, and especially if there's, like, you know, other means of sniping, it could be a little bit tricky. Sashimi Nissan, you've only missed one game. We are here in the second match of the day. It's going to be the Warriors of Chaos versus the Vampire Coast, and it looks like Human Boy is not going to be going for, man, Human Boy, definitely a man after my own heart. He's got Queen Bess here, as well as a big Colossus. So, yeah, this is cool. I mean, still have the Gunnery Whites, which, of course, has become a staple, but... Probably my least favorite playstyle to watch in this matchup is, like, Gunnery Whites, like, with, like, Vampire Coast kiting you while, like a million gunbats just snipe things. So, yeah, I really do appreciate this build. I think it's quite fun. All right. Get one for you and Sparty to share and do a double hot tub stream. Oh, my God. That sounds pretty wild. That sounds pretty damn wild. Well, you know, I do have some pretty ludicrous ideas for YouTube. Like, something I've always wanted to do is, like... So I'm a huge MMA fan. You guys probably hear me rant about it on stream and on the channel and things like that. So I've always really enjoyed freak show fights, like where you have, like, these weird mismatches or like people who, like, aren't professionals just going at it. You know, like, I enjoy that stuff. Not as much as I enjoy, like, actual pro fights, but I was like, man, wouldn't it be? Yeah. Like, and it's crazy. There's so much, like, I've been getting suggested videos lately of, like, YouTubers fighting, like Twitch people or, like, people on TikTok. Dude, the world is, it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, anyways, we'll save the rant for after this. Well, right now, let's go ahead and talk about the game. So, Count Noctil's here. Pretty good against Chaos. He can shoot the Horsemen. He's got the double Gunnery Wights. Queen Bess with the mighty U formation of Halberds kind of defending it, which is very cool. Triple handgun against Chaos, not bad. You know, they have a number of targets. Again, if they spam Marauders, though, the handguns can be a little bit inefficient. Zombies and a single gunbat up in the sky. And now, my friends, we do have Chaos Marauders and basic Chaos Warriors with Halberd support. Double Hell Cannon for Neil. Oh my god, the double Hell Cannons against Queen Bess. This is going to be very interesting. With a bunch of Marauder Horsemen, so he was prepared for the Air Force. He's got a Fire Sorcerer with Burning Head and all the other goodies, and 2 Chaos Warhounds in the bushes. The Lord is going to be Sigvald the Magnificent. Oh my god, check that out. This is crazy. Oh yeah, for sure. Back in the day, like in Pride, in Japan, they had a lot of MMA promotions that put on freak show fights. The worst freak show fight I've ever seen, and this will be the last thing I say about it during the replay, is I think it was Gabby Garcia versus Kumiko Hota. It's basically like this like 6 foot plus, massive, strong Brazilian woman taking on like a 50-year-old like Japanese grandma wrestler lady. It was pretty insane, and it's an actual fight too. Wild times. All right, so the Hell Cannons are advancing. They've used the blood mechanic. The Vampire Coast does have that ballistics buff here for the accuracy and reload skill, which is pretty cool. Now, is Queen Bess going to be going after the Hell Cannons? Probably going after the Chaos Warriors. Oh my god, devastating damage. Check that out. Yeah, okay, that's rough. I mean, maybe the Chaos Halberds and Chaos Warriors in general should have sat back and maybe just scoot up the Hell Cannons to try and force the coast forward. So now this is the time to see Queen Bess is indeed going after the Hell Cannons, and the Hell Cannons are going after Queen Bess. But is Human Boy going to be able to block it? You can see how Count Noctilus is standing in front of Queen Bess a little bit. Okay, the Hell Cannon shot does hit Count Noctilus, but it's not going to do much against him. Queen Bess shooting back into the Hell Cannons. Talk about a really absurd trade. Horsemen from Neil moving around the flank. A little bit dangerous for sure. They are handguns here, and the handguns could potentially do some big damage. Okay, there is a direct hit from that Hell Cannon right on top of Queen Bess. Wraithstorm going down on Sigvald, but it doesn't do too much against ground characters because it often knocks them over. Okay, Queen Bess has been hit twice in a row. Is it going to get Bessie? Looks like it goes and hits the Halberds in the backfield. I honestly think those 2 Hell Cannons are going to be out-trading Bess, and if they do kill Queen Bess, you probably want to fall back as Chaos, although it looks like you're already kind of committed here, so the Marauders will be getting in there and fighting. We do have some Poison Hounds in the backfield looking like they want to dive this, but I think it's a little bit too risky. So the Poison Hounds probably just retreat for now. I think Neil just pulls them back, just kind of waits in the bushes, wait for an opening. But Queen Bess is probably not long for this world. Oh my god, the Chaos vs. Coast artillery trade. Who would have thought? Front line is underway. Sigvald's going balls deep in the handgun mobs. A really nice micro here from Neil Batman Freak. He actually moves the dogs up and through the opening in the coast battle lines and does get on top of the gunnery mobs. How many more shots can Queen Bess take from those Hell Cannons? I've seen at least 3 or 4 get in there. Another nice dog play. So Neil comes around the other side, does get on top of the doggos here. And Queen Bess is actually just crumbling from straight up punishment. However, 1 Hell Cannon appears to be offline. I don't know if it's shooting anymore. Let's watch. Does it have any crew members? There is 1 mighty Chaos Dwarf there shooting. However, that Hell Cannon did get most of its value. Now, Burning Head going down, taking out the handguns. Sigvald and company moving into the front line. But Sigvald is actually getting spanked. Standard Eye is active, but Gunnery Wights are very good against Sigvald. They have good general AP. Their combat stats are reasonable. And I think Sigvald's going to need some help, or he's going to have to get out of here. I'm not quite sure. Queen Bess is still crumbling, though, and it looks like the Hell Cannon is going after Bessie, which I think is a good call. Yeah, the crew gets slapped, which is going to keep the crumbling going. They may crumble into dust. It's hard to say, but the big thing for the forces of Chaos here is they need to get away with Sigvald. He needs to kind of bounce back and get unified with his halberds, get a little bit of support. Wraithstorm is going to be going down on the Chaos Sorcerer, but again, he's on foot, so you guys will notice he's not going to take too much. So 2,205 HP, and yeah, he takes 0 damage. So if like they get knocked over, like he got knocked over by Noctilus's shot, and then he didn't take any damage. So Sigvald's on the run. Very, very unusual to see the Prince here just getting spanked up. But the double Gunnery Wights, plus the Hard Knock Life blasting Sigvald. He's going to be breaking, but Queen Bess getting hit with an Invocation right now. Okay, but yeah, the Invocation a little bit wasted because right as he did do that Invocation, unfortunately for him, Queen Bess did get destroyed by the explosive damage of the Hell Cannon. So Sigvald is broken and running, and it looks like the Gunnery Wights, or the Deck Droppers, excuse me, are going to be used to chase down Sigvald, which is very smart. Because if you let him come back here, he is going to be a menace, right? He'll potentially be able to heal up to about 1,500, 2,000 HP, and suddenly you're going to have a very scary game on your hands. Bounce Bar is pretty close. I mean, Chaos has really grinded down the Vampire Coast battle lines, and this is very common. Pretty much happens every single time in this matchup. The Chaos forces have essentially grinded out all the deckhand mobs, And then it's just a bunch of coast single entities just going balls deep and causing problems for Chaos. And yeah, the next player is going to be the Chaos Sorcerer. He's tanky, has good armor, but that doesn't really matter against the Gunnery Wights. Gunnery Wights are very efficient in combat, as you've seen. 2 of them able to manhandle Sigvald pretty well. And the man himself is running for the hills, 266 HP. It looks like a couple horsemen from Neil are going to be coming over there trying to rally Sigvald, which could be possible. If Human Boy forgets to give an attack order, stops chasing Sigvald, or if the horseman can kill them, which doesn't look like it's going to happen, Sigvald could be rallied here. But it looks like Human Boy is just narrowly going to win this game. The halberds, of course, pretty cost-efficient trading here, but the Gunnery Wights with their ammunition and Noctilus being able to kite back and probably still having summons in his back pocket, I think seals the doom here for the champions of the Dark Gods. It was a close game with good micro on both sides for sure. This Hell Cannon out of ammo, out of Chaos Dwarfs to man it, and the other Hell Cannon is shooting. Not too many good targets. I mean, I guess you could shoot into just bunched halberds, which is probably your best bet, but honestly, it'll probably just kill your own stuff if you shoot into the fights. Finishes off the handguns there. Not bad at all. So Sigvald running for the hills, and here the halberds of the Dark Gods here, continuing to grind through the deckhand mobs. And the Hard Knock Life is being chased, but the Gunnery Wights, man, oh man, that extra powder is so nasty. And the extra powder probably will be able to, give the massive bounce of power advantage, because the Colossus can actually run and shoot. So if he just keeps giving it extra ammo, it's just going to be able to shoot at whatever, right? Like he could start moving this way, just shooting at the Hell Cannons, obeying the attacking rule with the bats up here in the sky. And here comes the Marauder Horsemen. Here they come. 35 models right here. We have a couple Marauders, or Chaos Warriors actually coming back. So the Metal of the Metal Boys. Chaos Warriors are such a cool looking unit. I really can't wait to see the Nurgle variant of Chaos Warriors. I hope they have some really crazy, scary stuff coming off them, and their armor is looking all rusted. Yeah, so far, I like the look of the Corn Warriors. I think the dual-wielding Corn Warriors look very, very badass. But anyways, yeah, a bit of a, I wouldn't say foregone conclusion, but it looks like this game is over at this point. The Gunnery Wight in the backfield, finishing off the last of the Proud Chaos Dowie, manning that Hell Cannon there. And now the Hell Cannon is a little bit desperate, having to shoot against the Count Noctiles here. But I have to say, I actually really enjoyed the double Hell Cannon. You know what else I'm curious about? Is how good would the double Hell Cannons have been against bat spam? Let's say you just shoot the Deck Chopper handgun bats with the Hell Cannon. I mean, each shot could potentially kill one of the bat units, right? And if you bring the Soul of Damnation, it has twice the ammunition here of the basic Hell Cannons. Yeah, pretty cool build. I really liked it. Neil played a good game. A couple little things. I'm trying to think what the big turning point was, really. The initial trading was totally fine. It was probably just Sigvald, honestly. Sigvald getting his butt kicked in that blob, I think, was the big turning point of the battle. Because then it allowed the other, Krabos to go and take out the Chaos Sorcerer, and that was probably pretty much it. But if Sigvald had been able to live and unify with his halberds, and, because Sigvald marching with halberds is going to be super difficult to kill, right? If he's healing, and then you have to go fight him in melee, they have the anti-large support. There's a lot of scary stuff going on for sure. Hey, my smoking hot wife is here in chat. She is here. Everyone say hello to Lady Turin. All right, so here we go. Chaos Warrior halberds moving up, getting ready to do battle with the Gunnery Wights, but should be pretty easy for him. Honestly, with the Hard Knock Life having so much ammo too, he should probably just turn around in guard mode and just start shooting at the Chaos Warriors. Army losses kicking in, and it looks like Human Boy, yes, not able to play his beloved Skaven yet, but 2-0 with Coast today. Pretty cool builds. I love watching Queen Bess in action, so it's always fun. All right. Yeah, the heat waves in the Pacific Northwest are insane right now. Sigvald got shut down. That was the big thing. Halberds and Chaos Warriors are totally fine. I'm always a fan of that. Hounds are good. Horsemen are good. Honestly, it was a pretty cool build. Really just came down to Sigvald getting spanked. And yeah, Gunnery Wights, 2200 value, 1100 value. Queen Bessie about 1100. Pretty good across the board. Decent performances here from the dreaded Coast. And now, my friends, we will jump on over. Human Boy. Is he truly a human boy? We will never know. He's probably just 3 Skaven inside of a robe standing on top of each other. Yeah. Although Skaven are Skaven that short? I mean, I always feel like Skaven aren't that much shorter than humans when they stand up straight. Maybe Skaven slaves, but if you get a Storm Vermin or a basic Clan Rat, and have them stand up straight, what are they? How tall are they? Some of you guys in lore might know. So we got Ice Power Total War versus Human Boy. Should be a Royal Rumble for the ages. The Estalian Tomb. Map set. Human, pick 3. Yep. Lotus Moon, first come, first serve. So you just join the lobbies as quickly as you can. Let me flip out my impression of Crowley from Supernatural. Yeah, he's one of the best characters, hands down. So Ghosts can win without bats? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. All right. So what do we got here? Human boy going Skaven, vampires, and Britonia, and banning dark elves. Or wood elves, actually. Okay. He's going to let Ice play his dark elves. Okay. You guys ready for Marathi and Double Manticore? Because I am. Marathi appearing just in time for my lovely wife, who is a big fan of Marathi. Skaven are taller than the average man, I think, when they stand up straight. I don't think they're taller than the average man. I think they're like a little bit shorter. If you hold the Skaven up under it's like the long cat meme. Okay, so they just like are very hunched over, you're saying? No, all Skaven are 7 foot tall chats. I mean, Chaos Warriors, I'm pretty sure, are like 7 feet tall. Like, because they're like bloated by the powers of the Dark Gods. Like, Chaos Warriors actually physically grow and meld into their armor. So, like, and I think there's an instance in the story, like, I remember somebody asking on stream once, like, do Chaos Warriors actually have to, like, eat and, you know, have basic functions like that? But apparently, no. I think, like, maybe in the beginning they do, but once they become really corrupted and, like, meld to their armor, they're, like, sustained by the violence or whatever the action of their god is. But if they don't do that, then they, you know, they start to wither, right? So, are you a Sopranos fan? Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows of all time. As a matter of fact, Sopranos has a prequel show coming with James Gandolfini's son actually playing a young Tony Soprano, which I'm very excited for. Like, he has so many similar mannerisms and the way he looks like his dad. So I'm very excited for that. It's like a Sopranos prequel with Tony Soprano's youth, right, growing up in Newark, which is very fun. Password is 1234 for anybody who wants to join. Yeah. About dwarf-sized are they? I mean, we could probably Google this. Yeah, so Chaos Warriors, from what I understand, lose their need for like human functions once they become like more corrupted. Yeah. The beta 6 foot Empire Swordsman versus the Chad 7 foot Stormfront. Well, I don't think Empire Swordsmen are that tall. I think most like, I would wager that like, it's not, I don't know. I feel like the average Imperial citizen would be like between like in terms of the dudes would be between like 5'6" and like maybe 5'10", 5'11". I would wager. I mean, but if you look at hero characters in this game, they're like, you know, Karl Franz like is like massive. Like all hero characters are just super tall. Clan rats are 45. Okay, that makes sense. So Scott in chat saying clan rats are 4 to 5 feet tall, and Stormhammer are about 6 feet, which makes sense because they're like more well fed. I think they're like selectively, you know, bred and like have this whole, you know, brutal system there. So, battle tutorial, I will take a look. Yes, I've been quite busy, so. Yeah, Demogryph Knights are probably one of my favorite models. My entire Empire tabletop army is predicated around Demogryph Knights. So I have 9 demis in my army, 3 groups of 3. All with lances, because in tabletop lances are better than halberds. And then I also run, I have knightly orders. So I have the Empire Knights, which basically I painted up as like kind of like Knights of the Blazing Sun with lances. And I use them as Demogryph Knight proxies in the current, you know, AOS system. So yeah, it's pretty badass. Karl Franz is almost done though. Very close to finishing him. Very close. Moral of the story, if you want to be a main character, be over 6 foot. Damn, I don't qualify. I'm 5'10", so, you know. If you asked me how tall I was when I was 19, I'd be like, oh, you know, 5'10 and a half, maybe 5'11", but no, I'm just 5'10". All right, so we got Coast again. We're getting a Coast Clinic, and it's going to be Ice Power, who is very practiced against Coast. I've seen Ice Power play against Coast with his Dark Elves many times. I've done it on occasions. He should be totally fine here, but as will Human Boy. Human Boy is a ferocious foe. So this should be great. My Empire army, I don't want to do picture. Franz isn't done yet, so I want to finish Franz and the Celestial Huracanum, and then from there I want to paint up a batch of handgunners, because right now I only have 4 demis painted, a batch of State Troopers, I have 2 wizards painted, Franz is almost done, but everything else is unpainted at the moment, so. I'm 5'10". I'm only 5'10". Yeah. Lady Turin says she measured that. If I'm wearing shoes, I'm 5'11", but without shoes, I'm only 5'10". So it's not only 5'10" is, you know, a normal height, I suppose, which is pretty crazy. My dad is actually 5'6", and then my mom is 5'5". However, my mom has a bunch of brothers. She's got 2 brothers, both of whom are, you know, my height. So I think that's where I got it from. Yeah. Get a woman who overestimates your height by an inch. I'll take it. I am certainly a lucky man. I have the best wife you could ask for. She is amazing. Here we are. This one's for Lady Turin here. Her dark elves are here in action. And let's go ahead and see what's cracking. So we do have Lokir Fellheart cackling in the trees. And, you know, some people might perceive this as a meme, but Lokir, much like Sigvald, actually does have a weird niche against Coast where he can get in there, regenerate, and duel. And he's a bit of a small target, hard to snipe. So, yeah, Lokir's cool. Front battle line is going to be all Corsairs. Oh, yeah, love this. Corsairs are pretty badass for sure. In the backfield, we do also have Dark Riders with repeater crossbows. And more basic Dark Riders are going to be coming in to lend their mobile aid to just try and push the battlefield with these Slaanesha's Harvesters. So, Ice Power throwing a 360 on us. No Marathi double Manticore. And last but not least, we do have a Sorceress of Burning Head. Turin's dad confirmed to be Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito is quite a bit shorter than that. I think Danny DeVito is like 5 foot, 5'1". You know, what's funny though is my dad has actually like met Danny DeVito, and they're like kind of acquaintances. So, yeah. It is Lokir foot art. Yeah. I mean, but he's always on foot. You rarely see him on the dragon, so I feel like he doesn't deserve that. Yeah. Now, for the forces of Human Boy, we got halberds in the front. We are backed up by Count Noctil's double gunnery white though on foot. Oh, okay, he's worried about bolt throwers. Fair play. And then we got zombie pirate hand cannons with the bloated corpses in the trees, baby. 1 and a 2. And the rest of the army here is going to be a massive, balls deep, balls to the wall vanguard. Check this out. Tiago, welcome to the stream. Hope you had fun over on Legend stream. Morngul's and Scurvy Dogs going to be collapsing in the backfield. And the Dark Elf army is potentially going to be sandwiched. But the downside of that vanguard being is that the Dark Elves brought a rush build, which means there's no Dark Shards, very little to protect here in the backfield. And will the Scurvy Dogs commit? They should not go in and fight the Dark Riders without the Morngul support. They should need to pull back right now. Ice Power, very quick reaction. He gets all the Dark Riders to intercept, but the Mornguls are hiding in the bushes. If the Mornguls can pile in and aid in that fight, it could be very favorable. So the Scurvy Dogs now attack, taking a fair amount of damage. But with the Mornguls coming in, we have the counterpuncher. Here they come. The wacky inflatable men are now beating on the Dark Riders. So wild fight in the backfield. Meanwhile, Burning Head going down to the hand cannons here. Noctilos and company preparing to fight the Corsairs. Invocation attempt on the hand cannons. I don't know if it'll be able to save it, but Burning Head immediately accruing about 800 gold value. Really, really nasty. Oh my god! It's Sir Bloat! Sir Bloatimus! Let's go! Oh, yeah, so he takes out one. Let's watch it. Nothing else matters. It's like that Metallica song. And nothing else matters. Here he comes. Come on, Bloatimus. Get in there. Bloat. He's tipping his fedora here at these Dread Spears. You just got to go for it. That's a good trade. All right, so the Dread Spears got punished. At least the Bloats did something. It's not like they died ingloriously. So the double Bloats coming close to paying for themselves. They do break off the Dread Spears. And now the Morngul's continuing to push in, but they are intercepted by the Harvesters, and the Dark Riders appear to have been salvaged. We do have the Night Terrors battling these Dark Riders and taking freakishly long to potentially take them out. As far as the Corsairs go, Corsairs trading pretty efficiently. They are anti-infantry, pretty good against these type of like light armored troops. The Mornguls, unfortunately, for the forces of Human Boy, are going to be getting massacred in the backfield, it looks like. Harvesters intercepting them and then being shot in the back by Dark Riders. A pretty bad trade for sure. Really nice pistol summon, though, from Human Boy. Is dropped right next to the handguns and, the crossbows, and is getting some nice shots. But the Burning Head, very devastating. And honestly, the Vanguard would have been pretty good against, like, Dark Shards and Bolt Throwers. And I think that's probably what, you know, Human Boy is expecting, because the very meta build in this matchup is Bolt Thrower spam with probably Marathi, Double Manticore, and a bunch of Chaff units. And if you had rushed a build like that with Mornguls and Dogs, you know, might be a pretty good little trade, right? That back line might crumble and you might get onto the Bolt Throwers. But in this case, the Dark Elves rushed with Lokir Fellheart, who apparently is just given the foot here to the Gunnery White. I mean, he's so happy. I mean, he gets to fight a lightly armored foot character. Like, he's in his element right now. Negative 44 on the Gunnery White. Looks like the rest of the Corsair infantry charging forth as Ice Power treats us to a very fun Dark Elf build. And the Dark Elves probably will be the end of the Vampire Coast here. And Human Boy's reign as king was good. It was a good reign. You know, he had a couple wins. He defended his belts a few times, which is good. He wasn't, you know, a one-and-go champion. But in the end, the Druki, led by the mighty Lokir Fellheart, will continue marching forth. And hands down, will karate chop the Gunnery White. Lokir probably could defeat Count Noctilos too, with his healing and his anti-infantry bonus and the dreaded duelist trait. Yeah. There we go. Pretty cool, man. Very, very fun stuff. Ice Power Total War really throwing me off here. I was expecting Marathi Double Manticore, but I'm sure we'll be getting plenty of that over the course of the stream. as the vampiric forces fade to black. Probably my favorite song of all time. It's Fade to Black by Metallica. Foo Fighters' Everlong is another one too. Yeah, bunch of those up there. Bardzo Dobrze. That is it. And now we go on to the next match. GG, well played. I have to say, I really enjoyed that. That was a really cool rush. Mourngulls, yeah, I agree. I don't think Mourngulls are very good. Although I do like to use Mourngulls like 1 or 2 as a backfield sweeper. So if you're using Gunline Coast, like in like a single crappy infantry unit leaks into your back line, I like to use them to hunt them down with Scurvy Dogs. That can be pretty good. But the Lokir rush was very successful there. The Corsairs, you know, all did pretty well for the most part. But, you know, the bloat, Mabloat. Don't forget about Mabloats here. Human Boy doing an awesome build for us too. I know everybody has a hard on for Lokir and the Corsairs, but let's give a big round of applause to the fallen king, Human Boy, with his double Mabloat, as I call it. That was fun. GG, well played. All right, so we got to update the old record here. So it's got to be Ice Power TW. I wonder if he'll ever change to just Ice Power. You know, maybe after the Warhammer series fades to dust. All right. So now we're up. First come, first serve. Who is in here? We got the dreaded Pineapple. Oh no. Let's do the Troll Country. Troll Country always reminds me of Avenged Sevenfold. That song Bat Country. Pineapple sounds like a name to me. Let's see who Pineapple is. I feel like Pineapple's like Flying Taco or something. I don't know why. I'm just getting like a sixth sense. It is! It's Flying Taco! Oh my god, I knew it! I knew it. It's Flying Taco. I legit did not know he went by Pineapple. I just like thought that would be a name like his. You sure Turin is not Spanish? No, I'm not. I am an American. However, if you're looking at my archaic ancestry, it would be mostly Italian and Irish. My Italian side of the family is from northern Italy. Lake Como, you know, just at the base of the Swiss Alps is where my family is all from. And yeah, Milan area. And I actually have family from southern Italy as well, but mostly from the north. So I'm trying to think about the actual my dad told me once. Yeah, so somewhere down the line in my Italian ancestry, one of my Italian family members from the north, great grandpa, his wife was from like really far southern Italy. I think it may have been Calabria, I'm not sure. But so yeah. And then my mom's side of the family is, you know, mostly Irish, and I think there's some German in there too, I'm not sure, but I'm mostly Italian and Irish because my dad is half Irish as well. His mom was Irish and his dad was 100% Italian, so like my dad and all of his brothers have like that very olive skin tone, but I got more of the Irish skin. I have like, you know, pretty pale skin with like freckles and things like that. So yeah, that is that. And yes, I'm an honorary Pole because I got my smoking hot Polish wife. Yes, I'll take it. I'll take it. Sorry, Mafia guy. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. All right, so we got Dark Elves, Lizardmen, and Greenskins banning Lizardmen. So he's banning Taco's strongest faction. You know, that's a little bit dirty there, Ice Power. Banning out Nakai. Because Taco brings Nakai every single time. We could have had a Nakai game. But alas, he's going to go Beastman. Because Taco is actually one of the best Beastman players in the game. Very good. Yeah. This should be fun. This should be quite a bit of fun, man. Oh my god, I have no idea how to read that. Yeah, that's man. Polish is definitely a tricky language. Now, quick question for all of you folks over in Europe and you know, the rest of the world. In your experience and your opinions, what is the hardest language to learn? I mean, I know we could get very niche and talk about these very like, you know, I'm talking more of like a not a common language, but a language that is, you know, spoken by an entire country, not like a, let's say like a subsection of a country per se. But yeah, what do you guys think is the hardest language in the world to learn? I've heard Portuguese is pretty difficult, but again, in my experience, you know, reading and hearing Polish, it sounds very difficult as well. But I'd be curious to see what you guys have to say based on all of your international experience. We have a very diverse community here, so I want to see if there's like some consistency here. Okay, so we got Finnish, Hungarian, Polish, Mandarin. Yeah, Chinese is really hard. Chinese, Finnish, Turkish, Polish. Yeah, we're seeing a recurring pattern. I've seen Chinese several times. I've seen Polish several times. I've seen Turkish and Finnish a couple times. Bahasa, Indonesia. No, you know what? I actually disagree that Japanese is harder than Chinese because I studied Japanese for 4 years. And I tried studying Chinese for a year, and I was able to just learn Japanese so much faster. Yeah, I feel like Chinese is harder than Japanese to learn, but that's just me. Chinese, Russian, Arabic are usually given in the top 5. Okay, this is interesting. Yeah, this is cool. As a native German speaker, I think it's Mandarin. Czech is easy. Oh, I thought you said Czech was easy. You said Czech is easy. Well, Lady Turin speaks many languages. Mongolian, oh, I would imagine so. Hungarian is hard. Mandarin. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of recurring patterns. A samurai's just randomly saying Italy with a pizza emoji. Oh, it's funny. Try Latin. I did take a little bit of Latin in high school. So I took that for like a semester, I guess, and then I switched to Japanese. But yeah, Latin wasn't too bad compared to some of the other ones. I think the hardest one I ever tried to learn was Chinese. But again, I never made an attempt to learn some of the languages you guys are talking about right now. Polish. I'm from Poland and still can't speak the language. Yeah, it depends on your mother. Yeah, it depends on your mother tongue, right? Like, yeah, your root. Because again, I've heard for like English speakers, like learning Swedish and German is like a little bit easier than it would be like learning like a Slavic language, right? Because it has like a whole different kind of structure and system and things like that. So, yeah. Cyrus says I'm a native Chinese speaker and it's easy. I think you might be a little bit biased there, but no, fair play. The Lizardman language is hard. All right, so now that we've answered this very deep question, what do you guys think is the hardest language in Warhammer Fantasy to learn? I guess they all kind of like, they probably all have their own languages, but just assume they speak their own languages. Obviously they don't in the game so we can understand them, but I would imagine that Lizardman would probably be very tough. Same with like Skaven. Although Skaven I feel like would just use like really sharp kind of guttural versions of like common speak. I don't know though. All right, guys, back to the game. So for Ice Power, we got the dreaded Marathi Double Manticore, Scourge Runners, Spears. Oh my god, a massive erect Beastman Vanguard. Ungor Spears, Centaurs. Who's his lord going to be? We got a Brave Shaman of Death in the Shadows with Spirit Leech and Purple Sun. We got Gore Herds surrounding the entire army. And who is the lord for the Beastmen? Oh my god, it's Kazrak, the One Eye in the bushes. Let's go, baby. The Vanguard is here. So the Beastmen immediately slamming into a couple flanks. Centaur is going to be charging into Bleak Swords, which will actually do some good damage. You can see they have a nice charge bonus. So the Bleak Swords here do get worn down. Spears are moving up, and now the forces of the Dark Elves are going to be responding. Where will the first Soul Stealer be? So Marathian the Manticore is actually chasing out here, but you can see Taco has crazy good patience, right? Like, he didn't engage on this side because of the Manticores. He's just trying to, like, draw this fight out while he collapses on the other side. So here, the Bleak Swords are kind of hammered down. Kazrak the One Eye emerging from the bushes, being very conservative. I'm not sure why he's not getting into fight and scrap. Centaurs hammering into the Dark Riders here should be a pretty favorable engagement. Granted, Dark Riders do trade okay there. And here we got Spears fighting, we got Gore Herds retreating, and unfortunately for the Flying Taco, we do have some Gore Herds here who are being terror routed and probably will be escorted off the edge of the battlefield. Now, as far as the rest of the fighting goes, Bleak Swords here are hammered down. Kazrak the One Eye is here. Let's go. Moving in through the Bleak Swords. And now we get Gore Herds pouring into the back line. The tricky part for the Beastman is that Ice Power is going to kill all of the Beastman mobility. That will be his priority. And then from there, he's just going to be kiting the Beastmen with Scourge Runners and probably using, sacrificing 1 or 2 Dark Riders at a time for Soul Stealer punishments. And Kazrak the One Eye here is going to be not good against any of these things. I think Kazrak would probably lose to a Feral Manticore, which is pretty sad. Yeah, Kazrak just terrible. You know, he tries his best, but, you know, he is just terrible indeed. But a very nice Beastman Vanguard. I mean, bounce power is even. There's no summons here on the battlefield, so what you're seeing is what you're getting, right? Ice Power, though, removing the Hounds here. Multiple Hound units have gone offline to kind of kill the chase of the Beastmen. And then Beastmen are going to be forced into a Haggard Pursuit situation. They need to make sure to keep alive some Centaurs. Now, here comes the Manticores. Looks like they're eyeing your boy Kazrak here, as well as the Brave Shaman. There are Spirit Leeches, so Spirit Leeches could be used on the Feral Manticores to potentially rampage them and do their thing. Hey, thank you so much, Copa, for the donation. Thanks for the content. Wouldn't know what to do at work without you. I got you covered. Sorry, there's been a bit of a drought in the past couple days. I've been working on other things, which you guys will be seeing very, very soon. So Ungor Spearman herds moving across. I've also been recovering from my stupid hand surgery. I had to take a break after that Warcraft 3 stream. Gore herds going after Marathi. Not going to do a whole lot. We got Gores fighting Dreadspears in the back. Should be a pretty big advantage for the Beastmen. Gore herds typically outtrade most Dark Elf troops, except Corsairs. I think Corsairs do beat Gore herds in combat. Not quite sure. We get some Hounds collapsing on the Dark Riders here, and the Brave Shaman of Death looking to intercept the Scourge Runners, it would appear. They still have good AP on the Razor Gores, right? They have 300 weapon strength with a decent, respectable armor-piercing values. This is a very, very close game. I mean, both the dreaded Flying Taco and Ice Power Total War are top-tier players, right? Flying Taco has put himself at a bit of a disadvantage, though, by bringing Kazrak. Like, had he gone with, like, Morkur, someone a little bit more durable, it could be a bit of a different situation. But Kazrak, the One-Eye here, actually trapped by 2 Manticores and Marathi, taking a 3v1 single entity fight and a Soul Stealer. The Brave Shaman does come in, looks like Spirit Leash, and Kazrak does get away. He pops all of his different buffs. Oh, and we actually get a Manticore overextending, and the big purple sun going down on top of the Spears and Cavalry is pretty fun for sure. And the bounce power is actually even after that, largely due to the fact that one Feral Manticore has been rampaged, but the Terror Routes coming in is going to be enough to kind of punish them. And now Beastman Centaurs piling back in to fight. Will Kazrak turn around and fight the Manticores? Probably a good idea. Although Marathi's coming back in, but oh man, the Manticore going for it. There is a 2v1 fight. Brave Shaman and Kazrak the One-Eye getting in there and giving the Manticore the dirty. Kazrak's got his whip out. He's into that kind of stuff. And yeah, he's going after the Feral Manticore. Good night. Good night, my princess. Lady Turin is leaving. Farewell, my love. And we'll get you all taken care of. Feral Manticore here is being Spirit Leached. Now being charged by the Double Chariots. We will see what happens to the dreaded Manticore. Will it be finished by the Bray Herd? Balance of power is a little bit Dark Hill favored. Like I said, the Chariots being extremely effective here. Gore Herd's still fighting with 52 models against superior numbers here. So the Bleak Swords and the Dark Riders probably will win that fight. One Manticore is offline for now. I mean, I don't see Kazrak hard carrying this. I just don't. You know, he's being shot by Scourge Runner Chariots. There's still a little bit of ammo on this one as well. This Manticore will be escorted off the battlefield, but nonetheless, it's been a very valiant effort here by the dreaded Kazrak. You're just at such a disadvantage, right? When you're fighting against, like, Marathi, who's an anti-large duelist character with just shitlord Kazrak, who's just pretty much good at nothing. So here, Feral Manticore, negative 45. Soul Stealer going down. That probably will close out the game here for the Flying Taco. Looks like Ice Power Total War will be holding onto his crown for now. I mean, unless Kazrak just gets, like, the RNG of the Dark Gods. But the Beastmen are neglected by the Dark Gods, in case anybody knows lore about Beastmen. They're pretty much always used as, like, cannon fodder, and the Dark Gods always ignore them and don't give them any love or attention. And that's just how it's always been. You know, the Beastmen are the definitely the forgotten ones here. So here it comes, Kazrak the One-Eye battling the Feral Manticore to the bitter end. Army losses shall kick in. A very, very nice effort. Another sad moo, but you know, that sad moo was pretty much not inevitable per se, but it was very likely considering the Kazrak pick. If it had been Morkur, if it had been, you know, anyone else, even, you know, Malagor, right? Well, Malagor probably would have died pretty bad to double Manticore, but yeah, it was a good game. Well played. A lot of Gore Infantry, right? And the Gore Infantry are very weak to the Chariots too, so that was a big part of it, right? He won the infantry fight pretty decisively, but he ran out of Centaurs to play the skirmish and surround game and things like that. Turin's only Franz, that's pretty fun. I have to just dress up like a son of Sigmar. Yeah. All right. GG, well played. Ice Power Total War going to be tying for first place. He's got 2 wins in today's King of the Hill. GG to the Pineapple. And now we have Lotus Moon. Oh, here we go. We got a Royal Rumble. We will do the Hammer of the Oak. Map set. Lotus Moon excited to be here. Chesh, my friend. Yakshe Mash. Hope you're doing dope, Joe. Lotus Moon, of course, a Polish man. Let's see what he's got. They'll do their picks and bans, and we'll see what happens here. Well, it's the same with Dragon Ogre's turn. The gods don't care about those who have nowhere else to go. Why would they? The real prizes are those lured away from other gods. Yeah, it makes sense. Fair play. Fair play indeed. That would honestly make boatloads of money. You're saying, what, if I did an OnlyFans where I just dressed up as Karl Franz and walked around? Oh my god. So you guys just want me to go into like Walmart and Target and be like, I am Prince and Emperor. Just walk around and just all this like plastic plate mail or something. Oh man. Yeah, I got a really dirty mustache right now. Really dirty one. All right. This should be fun. I'm excited for this matchup. Turin, are you from Poland? No, I'm not. I am born and raised in California, but I'm married to a Polish woman. My lady Turin. So yes, I've learned a couple phrases here and there. AT in an airport heading back to LA soon. Good to see you streaming. Hey man, have a safe flight, and we'll see you back in LA soon. Bring me to my men. Oh my god, please do it. Public embarrassment. I don't know. I think I could handle it. I think in my early 20s I would have been like too like self-conscious, but now that I have a mullet and a mustache and I just like, you know, you got to do it in actual plate mail. What about Gelt instead? Volkmar with a mullet. Oh my god. Yeah, no. I've actually had moments where I've thought about doing like public ridiculous stuff like that. Seymour. Welcome. Thank you. I made a post on Reddit called Campaign Map Overhaul. Could you do a video on the situation? I'll take a look. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Well, why use plastic when you could use steel? It would just be much more cost effective. You know, the steel would be expensive. This transaction does not have my consent. These prices do not have my consent. I could do that. Let's see. I just like, you know, somebody jumps in front of me in line and I'm like, Sigmar, no. Yeah, let's see. What other lines could I say? What are some other funny ones? Yeah, we got choices. Mustache of social. Volk mullet the greasy. I could let my mullet get pretty greasy for sure. Yeah. If you do an only Franz, you will probably be able to afford plate mail out of pure gold. I mean, but like honestly, how many people would actually follow that? You know, probably like 20, like maybe 10 of you guys would do that, and I would just be like having to dress up like Karl Franz and go into Walmart. That'd be so haggard, dude. You guys are tempting me to do it. Only Franz, dude. That's so good. Oh my god. It could just be like 10-second clips of like walking down the street and like yelling Karl Franz lines at people. Yeah. Well, in LA, it'd probably just be walking past homeless encampments, at least in the area I live in. Bless his ravaged body. Yeah, Gelt would be fun. Gelt would be a fun one too. I'd do it for free. We'll hold you hostage. Oh my god. Okay, well, you know what, guys? Let me explore that, because I would actually I would set up an only Franz account, but I would also just put the stuff on YouTube. Like, it wouldn't be paywalled, so you know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. I wouldn't want to paywall you guys with that shit. You guys are already so supportive here. This hot dog has my consent. Dude, there's a great hot dog joint right up the street. I could just sit there eating hot dogs dressed as Franz. Try to talk to random people and only answer using Karl Franz's voice lines. Welcome to Los Angeles, gentlemen. I will not lie. Your chances of survival are small. Oh my god, I could totally play that up. I wish my dad lived in California. So my dad lives in New York City, and my dad is a television actor. My dad could voice act. He could like play characters like super well. If he lived in California, him and I could do some of the funniest shit ever. You know, we could dress him up like a wizard and just like, you know, he can like do all the movie voices. Like perfect, you know? God, that would be so much fun. Yeah, well, anyways, in another life perhaps, or maybe sometime in the future. He has said he wants to move to California to kind of end his career, so. This hot dog does not have my consent. All right, so for the army of Lotus Moon, dude, Lotus Moon is the king of bone giants. Like in high stakes matches, it doesn't matter. Lotus Moon always comes in with the double boner giant. So for Lotus Moon, double boner giant, the rest of the army doesn't really matter. Ark in the Black, Sepulchral Stalkers, and a bunch of horsemen. So yeah, basically the boner giant's pretty good at sniping Manticores potentially, like if Ice Power slips up on his juking. And you can see Ice Power is very aware of the bone giants and brings bolt throwers, but Spirit Leech Band from Arkin can actually kill the bolt throwers pretty effectively. So both players kind of playing here. We have double Feral Manticore as well as Marathi. Front battle line's going to be Bleak Swords, Dread Spears in the back, Cold One Knights, and double bolt throwers. Bolt throwers are very good against Tomb Kings. They have tons of constructs, tons of things you want to be shooting down. And I do like that inclusion quite a bit. Now, Lotus Moon actually did very well in the World Championship. He got to the top 4. I believe he was eliminated by either Evenstar or Showtime in the top 4, but getting to the top 4 in like an 800-man tournament is a huge accomplishment. And he was probably one of the few players playing Tomb Kings there. So Bolt Throwers are down to 1 model. It looks like the Spirit Leech is here. Thank you for the 100 NOK. I hope you dress up like Karl Franz and walk in public. I could definitely do that. Grey Salvation, can you give a shout out? Give us a loud Sigmar. Let's wait for an Empire game, and then I will do it. So when we get an Empire game, I'll give you a good Sigmar. Yeah. Thank you so much, Gray. Appreciate that. So the Boner Giants unleashing the fat shafts into the face of the Cold One Knights. Basically, Lotus Moon is going to Spirit Leech down the Bolt Throwers to the point where they're softened up, and then he'll basically sacrifice a carrion unit to finish them off from there. So here they come. The Sepulchral Stalkers are going to be hit with some Witchcraft or maybe Arc in the Black, being chased by Cold One Knights very aggressively. Will the Boner Giants unleash their giant shafts into the face of the Velociraptors? We will see. But getting the Sepulchral Stalkers caught by Cold One Knights, Marathi, and the Manticore Goon Squad is a little bit of a dicey proposition. Looks like a Soul Stealer going down. Lotus Moon needs to charge his Kepler Garden. He needs to get some support in there. He's taking way too many losses here on the Eyes of the Desert. They are down to 10 models, so they'll still have decent combat efficiency, but overall, that was a much better trade for Ice Ice Baby. So the Boner Giants shooting in. Where are they going to be going? Shooting at now the Manticores. Yeah, okay, so one Manticore gets tagged pretty good. They are going to be trying to rampage the Beasts. If you could rampage Manticores into Skeleton Spearmen, that would be quite nice, but Boner Giants really need to pay huge dividends, right? And right now it looks like they're hitting, but I feel like the Dark Elf army, like Bleak Swords, will be able to cut through Skeleton Spears. The only infantry unit for the forces of the Tomb Kings that's going to be super effective is Kepler Guard. Although there are a lot of skeletons, and you have to remember Arc in the Black can summon skeletons too. He does also have the Fate of Bayuna, so if he has to, he can wear down Dread Spears with that. Honestly, you could probably just Spirit Leech, though. You could probably just bring Spirit Leech. So here in the center, we do have some Velociraptors getting through. The Cold One Knight's going to be getting afflicted by a Spirit Leech, and the Eyes of the Desert are going to be left to fight here. They're taking Bolt Thrower fire, but the Cold One Knight's getting a little bit worn down. Giant Boner Shafts going into the face here of the Feral Manticores, and man, they just Matrix that shit. Look at that. They just dive in and dodge both of those with the low ground dive there. So here they come. The Skeleton Horsemen Archers still fighting the good fight. Looks like there's going to be a summon from Arc in the Black, which is smart. It'll tie up a lot of these Dread Spears here. You can see the Dread Spears trying to get through, but now there is a full summon of 150 skeletons. Kepler Guard really being MVPs, and Kepler Guard are an amazing unit. Very powerful. The only downside of them is that Burning Head like one-shots them, and a lot of spells do, but with just Soul Stealer on the table, the Kepler Guard are proving to be an invaluable asset. They're occupying Wrathy and the Manticores and Dark Elf Infantry as well. Now the Boner Giants still shooting it. Okay, the shafts are finally hitting home. We do have a rampaged Feral Manticore here. Lotus Moon needs to probably put this Bone Giant in guard mode and start shooting at the other Feral Manticore that is rampaged. Marathi and the Manticore Goon Squad now going to be coming after the Bone Giant, maybe, it looks like. There's a Doom Bolt coming down. Lotus Moon trying to dodge it, or the Wand of Crydon, I should say. And now we also get the anti-large Cold Moon Knights, I believe. Yeah, they might be able to get on the Bone Giant here. A little bit hard to tell. So Marathi and Manticore moving in. Kepler Guard still bumping and grinding in the front line. Bolt Throwers still very much alive. Maybe Lotus Moon needs to pull back the Carrion to go attack the Reaper Bolt Throwers. We'll see. So far, Skeleton Horseman Archers are okay, but Ice Power doing a good job of getting into the back line with his Goon Squad, and you can see this Boner Giant is going down super quick. Has no support. It has King Nikesh's Scorpion Legion, but in terms of like actual substantial support, it's going to be very tough to get that Boner Giant down. Soul Stealer as well, got to be dropped on the Giant. Will do some okay damage. It still has 4,000 HP though. Those things are super tanky. And a very good Ushapti summon to the back by the Tomb Kings. Ushapti summon being used on the Reaper Bolt Thrower, which should be able to single-handedly finish off both of those Bolt Throwers, which is actually very big for the longevity of the Bone Giants. However, it looks like the bounce of power, though it still appears even, my analysis would be that the Tomb Kings are in a bit of trouble. When the infantry start to break through the front line and just start chasing Bone Giants with just chaff, Bone Giants are really terrible at dealing with that. Marathi also able to bounce back and forth. She can charge this Bone Giant no problem. Probably finish this bad boy off. And we'll see how it goes. Yeah, bounce power still not showing its wear and tear here. Although one Feral Manticore does get broken, this would be a pretty crazy comeback for Lotus Moon. I really do feel like the forces of the Tomb Kings are in a bit of a precarious situation. Look at that. Kepler Guard's still fighting, up to 92 kills. Excellent performance from them. Granted, are they crumbling? No, they're just in weak binding, so they do stabilize. One Manticore comes back here for Ice Ice Baby. And the Giant Shafts, once again, shooting up into the sky against the healthy Manticore as well as Marathi, both of whom are going to be landing now, teamed up here with the Cold One Knights. And bread shall be buttered, as this Boner Giant is going to be attacked by a ton of anti-large and a fair amount of hard-hitting damage via the Manticore, who, of course, does not have anti-large. Spirit Leech, very good usage here on this Manticore here. Might be able to break it. Arkin the Black, just fighting in combat. With Arkin, you want to just kind of sit him in like loose combat if you can, so he can recharge his staff and get more summons. Lotus Moon using these Skeleton Horsemen archers to chase down the Dark Riders on the flank. Let's see what they're saying. Good luck, have fun on both sides. And the Dark Riders here will be broken. And Lotus Moon shooting the Bone Giant once again into the forces of the Dark Elves, trying to rip some shots here into ye old Feral Manticore, but the Manticore does get chased off by the Carrion, but the other ones are very healthy. Arkin summons, I mean, is there any witchcraft that could be pulled? The thing is, Marathi's going to be able to, oh god, a brutal Soul Stealer too. It hits everything that's good, right? It hits Kepra, Arkin, King Nikesh's Scorpion Legion, and the Boner Giant, all of which is just mad value city. So Dark Elves, I think, closing in, looking to capture some Tomb King's prisoners, although I don't think the Tomb Kings would be the most obedient prisoners. They would probably just would not give a shit, you know? I feel like they wouldn't mind. So that's probably it. Mainly just Arkin and the Bone Giant making their last stand. The Dark Elves cleaning up the rest of the Tomb Kings here. And thank you to Templar Knight for the donation of the $6.99. I see what you did there. Tomb Kings, welcome to Estalia, gentlemen. I will not lie. The chances of survival are small. Some may die, but the rest of you will see Turin's Franz's only fan. Oh my god. And then Kulgan. Am I the first person to ask how the hand is? It's doing okay. It hurt really bad after my Warcraft stream the other night. I rushed it. I shouldn't be playing games myself yet. Not that much. So, another 2 or 3 weeks, and I think I'll be good to, like, really go aggressively. Thank you so much for the donations. So, yeah, Lotus Moon just, holding on here, but there's no way. Bone Giant here, 200 HP. Marathi will be able to give Arkin the business, and, yeah, that's it. It was a well-played game, but Bone Giants are... My opinion of Bone Giants, I think they're good in a couple matchups. I actually really like bringing a Bone Giant against Skaven. But against, like, Dark Elves who have a fair amount of mobility, I think if you're playing a beginner to an intermediate to, like, maybe a intermediate tournament player, Bone Giants can be devastating because the micro might not be there. But if you're playing people who are very aware and vigilant and have solid micro and can dodge those giant shafts on their single entities, the Bone Giants will almost never pay for themselves. Whereas against Skaven, it's a little bit easier to shoot, like, Ogres and Grey Seers because they can't juke that well, but... in my experience, Bone Giants are very niche. And when you get to the higher level of play, I think they become less efficient. That's just my 2 cents. But also, losing the Sepulchral Stalkers early was rough because the Sepulchral Stalkers were one of his main answers against the Manticores and Marathi. And then when they were gone, it was all on the Bone Giants and Arkin, which, that's a lot to lift. That is a lot to lift. All right. You need a picture with a cowboy hat. Oh, yeah. Yeah, John, good call. I'll do that. So Ice Power going up to 3 right now. Will anybody take down Ice Baby? We'll find out here. Value accrued, Marathi, 23. Manticore's doing some good work. The double Bone Giants trying their best. Tomb Kings are good, but hard to play. Yeah, double Bone Giants are a little bit tricky. We'll do the Bone Zone, baby. Let's go. Who is this? Do I know this fine gentleman? Let me check his profile here. All right, cool. Looks like he's in the same clan as King of the Dead. King of the Dead here. Hasn't been here in a while. I haven't seen him. I think he's playing other games right now. He'll probably come back when we get some new content. We will see. The lobby password is 1234. First come, first serve. Anybody's welcome to join. All right, so let's see what's happening. Players are saying hello. Ice Power will do his picks and bans here, and then we'll be all set, man. We'll be all set. Yeah, it was double Bone Giant can be fun. I've used it against Skaven to catch people off guard, but Lotus Moon uses it all the time. He actually used it in the World Championship too, in the top 4. I think he lost that game too. But it can, it can catch people off guard. If they slip up for a second and the 2 boner shafts just like nail a lord or something, like they can just lose the game there. So I understand the appeal of the double Bone Giant because like it can really get you the win if somebody's not paying attention. Flying Taco is a very good Tomb Kings player as well. He's in chat, so if you guys have any questions about Tomb Kings in general and their strengths and weaknesses, he is an excellent resource of knowledge in that regard. All right. I will pick Dark Elves, Empire, and Britonia, banning Dwarves. We are on a relatively small map, so we'll see what this is going to be here. Can we get a Discord link? Yeah. If we have any mods in chat that could drop a link to Discord, that'd be greatly appreciated. If not, I'll make sure to do it before the stream ends. Yeah, I know. I got to update the Discord link. I saw a bunch of comments about that, so I will do it. We temporarily disabled the old Discord link because for the period of like 4 or 5 days, there was like there was a couple things happening. There was a bot that was spam joining using that link, and it was just like spamming like, you know, some X-rated stuff in the Discord, and then we also had a troll just joining nonstop, and he was just harassing people and just saying, you know, horrible things, and so we had to shut it down for a little while. Hopefully it'll all have calmed down by now, and we can get back to business. But yeah, there we go. Hadri's has got you covered. All right. So it's gonna be Britonia versus Vampire Counts. Okay. Oh my god, Ice Power readied up in like 2 seconds. He's like, I got my Fey Enchantress and Paladins ready. Let's go. Yes. Pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. Yeah, Tomb Kings did have the lowest rate in the World Championship. I think they had a 25% win rate, but they also weren't played that much too. Yeah, they're hard to play, I think, for sure. Yeah, caskets are a big risk against bolt throwers, 100%, but I like a single casket in some matchups. They're pretty good. They're like good against cavalry and infantry. Grey Salvation, thank you for the donation of the 549. I watched the head-to-head campaign with Throg versus Ungram last week. So much fun, but a bitter end. You should do this again. Yeah, I will. I'll do more head-to-head campaigns once my hand fully heals. Because like I can do campaigns against the computer now, because you know I don't need to micro that much. But against players, I need to be recovered. So, all right, Ice Power making some last-minute changes here. Hippo spam would be really fun. Throg joined the Discord. Yeah, basically, dude. Basically so. Well, thanks again for all of you joining today. I know the meta is a little bit stagnant. People are probably bored of seeing many of the same things, but what's on the horizon is looking very good. And by Sigmar, we shall endure. And there will be good times. I got a brick of Sigmarite halberds behind me, ready to be primed and painted. You know, the old Empire models hold up pretty well, especially the Karl Franz model. It's really good. You know, like Deathclaw is super fun to paint. Not as hard as you would think, actually. Painting the wings is mostly dry brushing and stuff. Can't wait for the DLC to shake things up. Yeah, it should be quite a bit of fun. It should be quite a bit of fun, my friends. Appreciate that, Nick. We share a name. Yeah, head-to-head campaigns are really fun. I definitely enjoy it. The Empire Counts versus Britonia, classic Blood Knights versus Grail Knights / Knights of the, or Questing Knights mostly probably. Yeah, Knights of the Realm I guess you could see. Usually it's Grail Knights. Hippo Knights could be interesting too. I mean, Hippo Knights with like a good Air Force, like Hippo Knight double Paladin up in the sky with Fey Enchantress on the ground healing, that could be pretty devastating too. If you could get the business going. Is it resin? No, they're plastic models. Yeah, no, they're plastic. I had an Empire starting box, so it came with 20 halberds, 10 handgunners, a cannon, and I think 8 Empire Knights, which could also be Knightly Order. So I have all that put together. Do you know anything about the upcoming FLC and new reinforcements? Well, perhaps I do, but unfortunately I can't talk about anything at this moment. So you guys know how it is. You know, Hippo spam works versus Vampire Counts too. Yeah, it seems like it could be good. I mean, Fey Enchantress is so powerful here too. I've seen Fey just like dominate this matchup, so that'd be interesting to see. My body is ready to raise cities with the Brass Bull. Plans for a tournament for the DLC release? Yeah, I actually have a really exciting event coming up, so I can't share any details on it yet, but there's going to be a fun one. Brandon Morrison, love the content turn. Would love to see a King of the Hill series that goes through every single map. Just pick up where you left off each time. That's kind of an interesting idea, Brandon. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brandon. Really appreciate that donation, man. Yeah, that could be an interesting one, like all the terrible maps included. That would be a lot of games. Yeah, it'd be a lot of games for sure. All right, the Bone Zone is here, baby. It's everyone's favorite map. Who doesn't love the Bone Zone? Who doesn't like going to the Bone Zone? You know? I feel like it's a good time here. All right, so for the forces of the Vampire Counts, who are going to be led by the Challenger, who simply goes by R. It's got Crypt Ghoul frontline, interesting. So yeah, Crypt Ghouls, of course, not bad against chaff and whatnot, but they do get wrecked pretty bad by cavalry charges. So Penta Crypt Ghoul, double Blood Knight with the Chillgeists. We have double White King with Scab's Grates, no surprise there, and a Von Karsline Vampire Lord with Storm of the Night. So okay, it's got some anti-air here, which is quite cool. Very, very neat indeed. And now for the forces here of the current king, with 3 wins to his name. He's got Peasant Mobs backed by Men-at-Arms with Shields, who will get massacred by the ghouls most likely. We got a Pegasus Knight unit, as well as Alberic de Bordelot up in the sky. And as far as cavalry go, Grail Knights, Knights of the Realm, and we have more Knights of the Realm on the far side. So mainly cheaper Knights, because again, the Pegasus Knight investment is not, no small price tag here. And they are Royal Pegasus Knights, so they cost 1,600. So okay, very cool. Oh, and they also do magic damage. So the Chill Guys, potentially with good control by Ice Power, should get wrecked. No Fey Enchantress here, though. It's going to make the Vampire grinding that much better, right? The Crypt Ghoul is going to be very tough to finish off. What is the worst map? Ooh, I have no idea. There's some bad ones. There's some really, really bad ones, dude. Because many of them are designed for campaign. Like most of this game, right? So, yeah, you can pay the troll toll on that. Slon Gold is pretty bad, but I think Grim... Yeah, that one's pretty bad, Hadries. So let us know your predictions in chat. Who are you rooting for? The Children of the Night or the Champions of the Lady? Let us know in chat who you're rooting for. If you guys are channel members, you should have emojis correlating to every faction, so you let me know. Desolation of Ostermark. Yeah, that one's pretty bad too. He brought Alberic. Yeah, Alberic's Trident isn't bad against Undead. If there's a couple of Crypt Ghouls fighting shoulder to shoulder, like the Trident can one-shot them. Oh, that is a risky play. That is risky by R here. He's got the hidden Chill Guys in the back. Royal Pegasus Knights would give them the dirty so bad if Ice Power discovers that. Oh my god. Well, this should be fun. Let's get this party started. Let's have some fun. For the lady. Indeed, Templar Knight. So here comes the crew, the peasant mobs, and ye old men-at-arms march forward to war, preparing to meet their foes head on. The map of the statue and the... Yeah, that's definitely a campaign map. So Ice Power immediately scouting. He's running back with his Royal Pegasus Knights, looking to see if he can discover anything. Maybe looking for scurvy dogs. So he just got a little bit closer, but hasn't discovered the ambush here of the Chillgeist in the backfield. Pegasus Knights might discover it, but again, the main vampiric battle lines will be advancing. Hopefully R doesn't have any tactical reserves. He does have Blood Knights sitting in the back. They were standing idle, but now they have been given the move order. I like how you guys are just doing the Luther Harkin emoji. I guess technically he is a vampire, so it's all in the family, right? But yeah, no discovery here of the Chillgeists. It looks like archers still shooting in. Crypt Ghouls are a great target for archers too. Light armor, no missile mitigation of any sort. They could pay a pretty substantial price, so we will see. Looks like the archers may be shooting at the Von Karstein Vampire Lord. The Storm of the Night, pretty good. Although the thing about the Von Karstein Lord, he doesn't have too much support up in the sky. So the Storm of the Night will do some okay work, but it's not like there's Vargeist or other things, or maybe vampire characters that he could actually dominate and follow up there. As far as magic goes, the Bretonians do have a Damsel of Life with Awakening of the Wood, and looks like Earthblood. So the first Fellbat landing here on the Peasant Bowmen, but going to be massacred pretty badly by Grail Knights. Grail Knights marching in there. They're like, all right, I guess we'll save the peasants for once. Somebody's got to shoot those filthy arrows. So the Fellbats get massacred. Now the Trident Manon. Oh, here it goes. That's going to do some damage if he doesn't get out of the way. Oh, yeah. Look at the damage on the Blood Knights. Wow. And the Tidal Wave's going to keep going through and are trying to pull back everything at once. But, that in the end of the day, that was okay. It wasn't, devastating, but it did kill a couple Blood Knights, took them down about 30% HP. And it did also force a very awkward retreat here from the forces of the Undead, who are trying to get out of range of that ability. On the other side of the battlefield, you can see here we do have Blood Knights hammering into the front line against Men-at-Arms with the Ghouls. And we do have ye old Pegasus Knights being pulled into fight. Up in the sky, the Duel of Duels, we have Alberic battling the dreaded Von Karstein Lord, which honestly, if the Von Karstein Lord doesn't land, it should land and fight this peasant mob right here to get the support of its White Kings or Blood Knights, because fighting up in the sky here, even with the Storm of the Night, is going to be tough. So the Awakening of the Wood going down. Wood shall be awakened, but a bit of a strange cast there. Although, no, it does hit a couple Blood Knights. Okay. And it hits the zombies as well. So these Blood Knights really getting wrecked pretty bad. But now the backfield is getting a little bit hairy here. Damsel will be bouncing out, but for some reason she doesn't do magic damage. She can cast magic, but she herself does not do magic damage. And the Chill Guys are going to get absolutely destroyed. So this is going to be a huge loss here for the forces of the Vampire Counts, as the Chill Guys will be taking a ton of magic damage. And Grail Knights too. We have Grail Knights and Pegasus Knights here. 100% hard counters against the Chill Guys. Both do magic damage. Both are just ready to get down and dirty. And so far, it looks like the Bretonians are dominating this game. Cavalry's running rampant, charging around. The Blood Knights have had pretty rough trades overall. One Blood Knight unit is running, the other one in shambles. The Chillgeists are definitely not chilling right now. And now we get a very desperate land here from the Vampire Lord, maybe looking to get down there. And if it does, that's going to be risky, because then the Grail Knights could maybe surround this character, and that would 100% just end the game. Yeah, you see the Grail Knights now bouncing over. They got their lances couched for the lady. And yeah, man, that Von Karstein Lord going to be taking some work. There is also the Trident on Alberic, so that will be giving a bonus first large, a little extra here to the Grail Knights. I think it does stack with their current bonus first large, I'm not sure, but yeah, the Vampiric Lord just getting put in a trash can, given the good old swirly here, as he is shot by a torrent of Peasant Bowman fire. 68 models right here with poison here, and yeah, man, he's in trouble. Nice Scab Scraith, though. You know, does hit a couple Peasant Archers as well as some Peasant Mobs. Another good Scab Scraith from the Vampire player, showing he's got some Vampire chops. But nonetheless, the Von Karstein Vampire Lord is down for the count. And vampires, much like they were in Tabletop, are a faction that do not like losing their lore. And there he goes. The Vampire Lord has been karate chopped. The Foul has been purged from the land. The errantry war against the Vampire counts a success for the mighty Duke of Borderlow. So here comes the epic charge. We got Knights of the Realm meeting Blood Knights. Blood Knights do normally win that, but with Alberic nearby landing in with his Trident, there's going to be some Vampire sushi, as he will be sticking them with the Trident. And that should be the GG. So Ice Power Total War, continuing his reign, just getting down and dirty here, and having a good performance. All right, so value accrued, 1,300 on Alberic, 15 on the Pegasus Knights. Grail Knights up to about 13. Blood Knights heavily underperformed. The Crypt Ghoul line really just got destroyed too. I mean, none of the Crypt Ghouls got over 400 value, brutal. And also the Chill guys got dominated as well. So a lot of very unfortunate engagements there. But the Royal Pegasus Knights turned out to be a decent little addition to that army. So there you have it. Ice Power continues his reign as the King of the Hill. Who will challenge him? He's taken down individuals of all skill levels today. Now we have the dreaded Ferret Knife. So we will put them on the River Amazon. Ferret Knife. Don't know if I've seen Ferret Knife before, unless it's somebody playing under a different name. His avatar is quite literally a ferret holding a knife, which I love. And yeah, so we'll see how this goes. Should be good. Should be good indeed. Nobody expects the Pegasus Inquisition, I know. Hey, Jakub. Hope you're doing well from Poland. Cześć, my friend. All's good. That was a fun game. Yeah, Ethereal against Britonia is super risky. The only reason I can see the Chill guys maybe being a thing is because they have a Slowing Aura, which can give you good cav fights potentially, but I probably would not bring ghostly units against Britonia. Fey Enchantress. You also have the Grail Knights. Pegasus Knight aren't super common, but they have just so much magic in general. So, is there a way to join these matches? Yeah, these matches are free. You just got to go to multiplayer lobbies and just passwords 1, 2, 3, 4, and you just got to be the first one to join. And now we have the dreaded Ferret Knife. All right, Ferret Knife is going to go Dark Elves banning Britonia. Don't you dare mirror match. Don't do it, Ice. Don't you do it. No. No. Gah, why? Not like this. Okay, guys, we're getting a mirror match. We're getting a mirror match. The world, a man of culture as well. Oh my god, we're getting a Dark Elf mirror match. Oh. Feasting on younglings as tradition dictates. Yeah, you know, the younglings got to start somewhere, man. You know, and getting your butt kicked a couple times is a very good way to improve. I can attest to that, because it happens to me all the time. We thought about hosting another tabletop style tournament. Yeah, so I'm gonna have. I'm mainly waiting for the DLC to kind of get rolling before I do big tournaments again. But I will be doing, you know, large funds tournaments. I'll be doing, you know, faction wars, all sorts of good stuff like that. Dopey's got 2K hours in this game but never played multiplayer. That's very normal. You know, most people, the average player probably doesn't play much multiplayer. Yeah. We could ask one of them to play a sub faction, but I think it's fine. Whatever. Mirror match rules, only SEMs allowed. That would be pretty funny. Just like a bunch of Charybdis battling each other. Blemo. Hey, Turin, I really like your commenting style, the memes, the knowledge, and seeing all those special moves of the players. Hey, appreciate that, man. Kind words. Who is Marathi's biggest fan, you say? Probably Ice Power. Yeah, he's been a Marathi loyalist for quite some time. Granted, I would like to see some ridiculous, like, Kane Rush. Like Crone Hellebron with, like, Sisters of Slaughter just going ape. That would be fun. We'll see. Would love to see a miniature battle report. You know, I started doing them, and then the Rona happened. And I stopped. I did 2 battle reports around the channel. Pretty low quality, though, because, you know, again, I just had some, like, haggard handheld camera. If I ever do battle reports again, I'd like to have, like, an actual room with, like, you know, good lighting and, like, static cameras. Very, very similar to, like, Tabletop Titans. I'd love to do something like that, where I don't have to be holding the camera. I could just be shooting the shit with whoever I'm playing with. That's, like, the dream situation. Yeah. Yeah, Mirror Rackhearth. Yeah, you know, there could be a Rackhearth here. There could be so much cool shit. I want to look at the armies right now, but I don't want to have to put up a screen blocker, so. Yeah, multiplayer is fun to watch, too. Even if you don't play, like, I know a lot of people who just like to watch multiplayer because the battles are fun. You know, it's always fun to watch battles, right? And they just play campaign and et cetera, et cetera. I know people who, I don't know too many people who play just multiplayer and watch campaign, though. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think most people have done campaign on their own. All right. Yeah, someday. Fulgrim, though, that would be a while. Basically, I can tell you guys that when the old world tabletop game comes back, if it's good and not just like a terrible flop or like a friggin' board game or something stupid like that, I will do tabletop battle reports for the old world. I'll collect multiple armies. I'll go pretty all in on that if it's good. If it's just like a shit show and they only have like 2 armies and it's just like, you know, then I won't cover it. But if the old world tabletop game is like decent and the models are cool and they have a couple different armies, I will 100% do a big focus of that. Yeah, playing the old world on the channel. Because, you know, by the time that comes out, you know, I think Warhammer 3 will be pretty well on its way. How does one get into miniature painting? It's not too bad, Dave, honestly. So firstly, Dave, I would recommend to you finding an army you really like. Like, read about the lore, the aesthetic. Because for me, if I don't like the aesthetic of an army or the lore and whatnot, like, I'm not going to be able to paint them, like, or paint multiple models. I'll burn out and lose interest. But like with my Empire army, for example, like, they're my favorite faction in Warhammer Fantasy. So, you know, I'm like constantly hyped. I'm like, yeah, like, I'm painting up my Empire army. Like, this is a character I know, et cetera, et cetera. So find an army you like. And then from there, honestly, I used YouTube tutorials. You could just like literally go and like how to paint like so and so, and you just like emulate their techniques and just keep practicing, and you know, you'll get better. I mean, really important basics are, you know, obviously thinning your paint is the classic meme. Thin your paints, and aside from that, you know, another technique that I think is very underrated in miniature painting is dry brushing. Dry brushing is like so much easier than edge highlighting, and it pretty much accomplishes the same thing and looks almost as good depending on the circumstances. So dry brushing is really big. So, you know, you put on your base coat, you find a wash that complements it, whether it be like Nuln Oil, Agrax, you let it dry, and then from there you can like dry brush it, or you can do some like basic edge highlights on the raised areas with just like, you know, a correlating color. I could go on about it for a long time, but yeah. What's my favorite Empire unit? Well, in my army, it's Demogryph Knights in tabletop with Karl Franz. Yeah, Franz on Deathclaw, I have him. Super cool. So Dopey, I would recommend that you join my Discord, and there's a looking to practice section in there with a ton of new players looking for games, and you can also just ask in general chat, and you can find new players to play with. I wouldn't recommend like trying to just randomly find strangers. You won't get the best games. Like, find someone in my Discord and play with them, and there's great people in there. And also, like, the chat is really good because people are constantly like sharing ideas and strategies and helping new people. So I started painting for the first time a couple weeks ago. I've been painting some Skaven, and it's so much fun. Yeah, Skaven are fun to paint too. Pretty easy to paint, but there's a lot of them. It depends. If you're doing Skaven monsters, it's not so easy. All right, guys, back to the game. We got Rackhearth. Okay, we know Rackhearth versus Crone Hellebron. Oh, talk dirty. So Rackhearth coming in with a Bloodrack Medusa, a Deathcaster. Front battle line's going to be swords backed up by spears, as well as witch elves in the backfield. And it looks like we do have Ravagers of Rackhearth. So the Ferret Knife getting very into character here with a couple Dark Riders as well. Now for Ice Power Total War, one of the kings of ye old Dark Elves. It's going to be Dread Spears and Bleak Swords, and it looks like in the back we got Sisters of Slaughter, Sisters of Singing Doom, Reaper Bolt Thrower, Crone Hellebron on foot. So yeah, it's a rush. He's got 4 sisters with 3 Witch Elves, or 2 or 3 Witch Elves, yeah, including the Sisters of Singing Doom. Holy shit. As far as I can see here, I do think that Ice Power's army probably will run this army over. Rackhearth doesn't have any good homes here. As a matter of fact, in Ice Power's army, there is not a single large threat. Therefore, Rackhearth's bonus versus large, pretty much useless. A big variable as to what you're paying for. And the Medusa is trying to juke, but this is going to be forcing the Ferret forward. The Knife Ferret, or Ferret Knife, going to be engaging in the front line. Bleak Swords and whatnot will do okay against like Dread Spears, but against like more elite troops like Sisters of Slaughter, it is going to be pretty rough for sure. So Spirit Leech going down on the Ravagers of Rackhearth. Ice Power advancing up the Sisters of Slaughter. And if you guys have never seen a massacre in this game before, you're about to see one. When you see the Bleak Swords fighting against Sisters of Slaughter, that is going to be a one-sided beatdown of the ages. Of course, you have not the highest melee attack, but yeah, Bleak Swords will go down very, very quick. Crone Hellebron going in for the kill. Hellebron James bouncing in against the Bloodwrack Medusa. Going to be slam dunking all over her face. In the backfield, the Ferret looking to flank into the bolt throwers. We'll see how that goes. And here it comes. Sister charging in. Good retreat from Ferret Knife, though. Trying to delay the engagement, but I don't think there's anywhere to run, as these sisters will be catching you. And they're going to be whipping some of these boys pretty good. Yeah, you can see massive casualties right away. I've already lost 11 models, and that is going to be a brutal affair. So here we do get the Gaze of Cain going down, buffing up the front line here of the Dread Spears and the Sisters as they just buzzsaw through these Bleak Swords. Corsair Handbow is moving in to shoot. Corsair Handbow is actually quite good against Sisters, as long as they don't get caught. And there's going to be a Burning Head going down as well from Ice Power Total War. Unfortunately, the Bloodwrack Medusa in the backfield a little bit beat up. Big thank to Nuke for the donation. Really appreciate that. Thank you for everything you do. Well, thank you for the donation, man. You're keeping it going. So thank you so much for your support, man. That is mega generous of you, and hopefully you're enjoying this rush game. So here, the Sisters of Slaughter still continuing to slaughter away. Rakarth, the Beastmaster, sitting in the backfield, not doing a whole lot. You know, honestly, I think at this point the game is probably looking pretty good for Ice Ice Baby. The Corsair Handbows are stuck in combat here. And, you know, Crone Hellebron's going to be much more of a playmaker here, which is something you don't hear terribly often. Little cap charge coming in from the Ferret Knife, hammering into Witch Elves. Got to be careful not to get rampaged, as there are a fair amount of pursuit units here. Granted, Ice's army does not have a ton of mobility, so Ferret Knife doing a good job in the backfield with his Scourge Runners, shutting down the Bolt Thrower, and obviously the Chariots can do a fair amount of damage against the lightly armored Sisters, but... Ooh, Rakarth going in for the kill. Did he use any of his buffs? It looks like the Beastmaster Rakarth did not. He just charged Crone Hellebron James. Maybe trying to, you know, swat that dunk, but here... He's back, Beast Slaver, and the Beast Lord's Gaze is popped. And it looks like he's going to be jumping over to aid in this engagement, though it looks like it's a lost cause. Dark Riders here are all busted up, and now Rakarth is very near Witch Elves, which could actually rampage him and make him pay the ultimate price. So we'll zoom in, give you guys the good old cine shot, as they say. Rakarth here, he's got the beat. He's gazing upon himself, taking one last introspective look before he meets the Crone Hellebron in combat. We could perhaps have an honorable duel between them, but I don't think the Dark Elves really care much for honor. If we look at the battlefield, predominantly Ice Power. He's got most of his stuff pretty darn healthy at this point. Balance and Power massively in the favor here of the forces of Ice Power Total War. Sisters of Slaughter getting worn down. Nice attempt by the Ferret, though. He brought a fun build, too. He brought Rakarth, some Scourge Runners. But yeah, Ice Power's build was very good against his, and obviously it's a ferocious opponent to have to fight. The Gooning attempt. Will the Ferret knife, the Ferret wielding a knife, get the moral victory here against the Sorceress of Death? Perhaps the KO blow. It looks like she was knocked over, so, you know, Rakarth is going to go on a little bit of a vacation, punting down some of those Dread Spears. Not quite army losses yet, but looking around, I mean, it's basically just Rakarth and the Deathcaster that are the sole purpose as to why the Balance of Power is the way. Turin, what is a good way to use a Medusa? In my experience, the best way to use a Medusa is against... I actually like them against Dwarves every now and then. Like, you can surprise Dwarf players with Medusas, which is pretty funny. I mean, if they have, like, a lot of cannons and guns, it's going to struggle. But, yeah, Medusas are generally considered to be a pretty terrible unit. But I'd have to think about that, what matchups they're good in. I've seen them do okay against, like, Chaos and, you know, and Dwarves. But, like, overall, they're a bit of a meme unit. Cirrus, thanks for the stream. Would love to see an Order versus Chaos tournament. Yeah, I'll make that happen. I do love thematic events. I think that would be better when Game 3 comes out, because the Chaos tournament could just be all four of the Chaos Gods versus... You could do, like, all four Chaos Gods versus Empire, Kislev, Dwarves, and Britonia. And that would be a super epic tournament. Like, the Order Tide versus, like, the Chaos Tide. 100% down for that. And it will happen. So, yeah, the rush was nasty. I mean, the Sisters just buzzsawed through this army. And for Ferret Knife, he was at a big disadvantage having Rakarth, but he could have maybe kited back better, like not engaged, used his Corsairs, used his Scourge Runners and his Medusa to shoot before engaging. Because he took the engagement rather quickly. And I think that cost him the game in a very rapid manner. So Ice Ice Baby, putting people on ice. He is here with 5 wins so far. Who will take down the Ice Power or attempt to? Find out here on the next episode. Anyone's welcome to join. Password's 1234. You just got to be the first. And that's that. If we have a mod in chat, if you guys could drop another link to Discord. I see some new folks asking for it. That would be greatly appreciated. Medusas are decent versus Tomb Kings and Lizardmen. I feel like they just get wrecked against Lizardmen because Lizards always bring solar engines, which just destroy them, and then Chameleon Skinks annihilate them too. We got your boy, Dino Mike. Yes. It's time. Medusa's voice is 10 out of 10, yeah. Yeah, the Medusa, I won a game in a tournament with one once against the Dwarf player. Because it was a map that was like, had a lot of terrain and hills. I think it was Storm Demon, and his cannons couldn't draw line of sight on the Medusa, so they kept like scooting forward, and the Medusas would pop over the hill and like shoot at the dwarves, and then I'd run them back over the hill while I had like shades ambushing and things like that. I can't remember who it was, but it was a good player. It was like a formidable tournament opponent. So they have done okay, but generally they're hard to make work. There has to be like many conditions. There's a lot of units that have no conditions, right? Like you never need any conditions to be met from Marathi to be good. She has Soul Stealer, her auras are amazing, but you know, units that require conditions, like a lot of conditions to be decent, like, you know, generally aren't going to be as good, right? I think the lobby has bugged out. No problem. Yeah, Dynamike might just be lagging here. I think it might be Dino. I'm not sure. I do not have any mods enabled. No. All right, so let me see if this fixes it. It might just be Dino. Yeah, Dino Mike was stuck. All right, so Dino, you're more than welcome to try and rejoin, but it would appear your connection had some issues, or there was some issue with you connecting. So, yeah, see, so there was no issue there, so it was unfortunately just Dino Mike. But I hope you try and rejoin, bud. Maybe reset your internet or something. Yeah. All good. Cool. So we have Katam versus Ice Power Total War. So how this is going to work is we are going to go until just the 2-hour mark, give or take. And if Ice Power Total War just keeps winning until 2 hours, he will win the stream. If he wins like the next like 2 games or something like that. But if somebody beats Ice Power Total War, then they can play until they lose. And that's how we'll do it. It is Trazen the Infinite, the mighty... I think it's a Necron character, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. Leighton, this is the first stream I've actually ever posted on. Always a fan of your content, man, and it was cool having my comment read. Hey, man. Of course, brother. Of course. Man, it's crazy. So on YouTube, you know, generally, like, chat seems like a pretty fun experience, right? But sometimes when I watch these, like, mega huge, like, Twitch streamers, dude, they, like, I don't think it's even possible for them to interact with their streams. Or like chat with people and have fun that way, right? It's just like constant emojis and memes, and there's no actual substance in the chat. All right, so Katam is going to go Norska banning Dark Elves. Ice Power wanted Dark Elves. So Katam, Norse banning Dark Elves. So it's Norska versus Britonia or the Empire. Both are, you know, honestly, Empire is a good matchup there. Britonia is probably totally fine. Like Norska is a pretty dated faction. Yeah. We'll do it. Mullet's doing good, yeah. It's getting a little grungy. Bring in the Dark Lord Felcon. Felcon's actually a little bit burned out on the game right now. He hasn't been having too much fun, so that's why you haven't seen him too much. Yeah. He's waiting for like an update or DLC or something like that. Because the meta, in terms of like high-level competitive play, is pretty stagnant right now. Yeah. Yeah, Guac, for sure. 100%. It's a very different experience. So, Britonia. We get Britonia versus the Norskins. Will the barbarians be rode down by the lances of the lady? Probably. Fey Enchantress and Paladins will most likely be here giving the dirty. Dopey, you ready to go? All right. Very cool. Yeah, and sorry the streams are a little bit shorter these days. You know, I'm still recovering, so just give me a break, my friends, and I'll be hopefully back. It's been, what, 4 weeks? Yeah, surgery was 4 weeks ago. So, you know, about... between the 6 and 10 week period is when you start to experience like normalcy, and the swelling goes down because it's still super swollen, because they literally like chop the top of your hand open. So yeah, we're doing it, man. I want to learn how to play Skaven in multiplayer, but my favorite Skaven Lord is trash in PvP. Who's your favorite? Is it Tretch? I don't think I've ever met anybody in the history of Total War whose favorite character is Tretch. You know, so who could it be? Like all the other Skaven Lords, I think, let's see. So you have Skrull, good in multiplayer. Deathmaster, good in multiplayer. Ikit Claw, average in multiplayer, but can be made to work. Throt, good in multiplayer. So what, you must be a Tretch man. You must be a Tretch man. Yeah, Spice makes sense. Yeah, it's probably the same. I guess it just becomes like that when your channel gets really big, huh? You did a 3-hour Warcraft stream the other day. I felt like I was blessed by Blizzard. Yeah, no. That hurt, though. Like, my hand has been hurting ever since then. So I need to take it easy. Oh, Queek. Oh, that's right. You're a Queek man. Yeah, no, Queek is only really good against dwarves. Queek is okay. He's good against dwarves. Okay against like chaos, but generally, yeah, he's pretty subpar. Yeah, I've never met a Tretch man. Or woman. Never met anybody who's been like who here is like, oh dude, Tretch is so cool. Like, you know, nobody feels that way. Ivan, I missed your donation, Ivan, but I saw the $75 donation. Thank you so much. Sorry, it just kind of slipped past my radar here. Thank you, man. Ivan, dude, you're always killing it with those. Thank you. I didn't see any message with it, Ivan, so if you want to like type something in chat, feel free, brother. Yeah, Queek is good against dwarves. He can kill the dwarf lords pretty well, but aside from that, which is very lore friendly because, you know, he's always hunting the dwarves and whatnot, but yeah. Craven's Tail is the man. I actually forgot Queek existed. It's true. You caught me. What's the worst faction? It depends. It's hard to say because even the faction with the lowest win rate has good matchups. So it's like, you know, I guess to answer your question, who has like the most bad matchups? I don't know. It'd be hard to answer off the top of my head. Tomb Kings did have the lowest win rate. Beastman win rate wasn't bad. I think it was like 45% or something. Even with like how outdated they are. Beastmen have some good tools. Britonia versus the Norse. Ice Power says no mercy. Maybe we'll get some wild shit here. Who knows? Yeah, Queek is also good at killing Sigvald. That's true. Yeah, Trophy Heads and Dwarf Gouger. Like, you can get through Sigvald pretty quick. Hey, Nick, I'm glad you're enjoying the community, man. Yeah, we're healing slowly but surely. But I learned my lesson the other night. I played like a 4-hour stream of me playing, and it was rough. It was rough. We'll get back to that soon, guys. We'll get back to that soon. Don't worry. Which race do you think scales hardest as campaign progresses, Skaven? Ooh, I don't know. Like, because the thing about campaign is, like, there's some really degenerate doom stacks you can do. So, like, I'd have to evaluate those piece by piece. That's probably a better question for someone like Legend of Total War. I mean, I know campaign. I play legendary difficulty. I'm okay at it. But, you know, his comprehensive knowledge of, like, all the different doom stacks and the nuances and abilities and items is much better than mine. So, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, there's so many scary doom stacks. Yeah. Skaven definitely are pretty good in campaign, like, because they like ranged on the higher difficulties. When you get to like very hard battle difficulty, the Skaven weapon teams are super cost effective. Like, they don't give a shit about your melee stats, so they're just going to bombard you from downtown. I actually really hope that for Game 3, CA changes the way legendary and very hard works, because like the way battle difficulty scaling works now, it's kind of stupid because it just makes melee units and cavalry obsolete because they're just terrible at trading. Whereas like you just want to spam archers and ranged units and magic and single entities, which isn't really fun, honestly. I mean, it's okay, but, you know, it's, like, boring. Although a lot of people like watching it, apparently. But, yeah, no, I personally just, like, think it's not very fun. I'd like if you, like, had more of a reason to use cavalry and, like, use your, like, foot-based infantry. Now, in PvP, it's a whole different beast. Because, you know, playing against players, is they're not going to just, you know, funnel into your like, blob on your shit as easily. And, you know, it's a whole different thing. Hope your hand is healing up nicely. Yeah, it's getting there. Peter, you've missed a fair amount of juicy games. We've had some good memes today, some good competitive matches as well. So for the Forces of Catan, we have the Soul Crusher. He is here to crush some souls. Backed up here by Norscan Ice Trolls, as well as Marauders into the Sunset. On top of that, we got Wolfric. We got Chariot Rick. Yeah, okay, Chariot Rick is here. He's on his chariot with Shaman Sorcerer as well. Of metal. So we got Glittering Robes, Plague of Rust, and Searing Doom. Snow Trolls, Marauders. Very interesting build. Yeah, CA confirmed in a blog they're going to change it. That's good. Yeah, I thought they did. I just couldn't remember. So, for the forces here, Britonia, it's going to be Peasant Mobs backed up by the Pilgrims of Battle. Fey Enchantress, Double Paladin. So, Ice Power here going super meta. Knights of the Lionhearted and Knights of the Realm. They're so good against Norsca. Knights of the Realm really just dominate. Skinwolves, Trolls. They only struggle against Famir, but even it's not the worst trade in the world, so... Yeah. Do you often have nightmares about my dwarf invasion of my Fang campaign? Yes, I do. I don't know why that's the case. The dwarves hate me in every campaign I do, except when I'm playing dwarves. Maybe they're punishing me for not playing them. That's probably what it is. Yeah. It's time. Let's do it. Let's do it to it. Should be a good time. Both players appear to be ready. The Soul Crusher, here to crush some souls. Will it crush the soul of Ice Power Total War? So like I said, if Ice wins this game, he will continue on and face one more opponent. And if he wins that, then he will be the grand champion of today's stream. But if he loses, then somebody will have a chance to play until they lose to try and pass his record, which I think will be very tough. But stranger things have happened, and it's certainly very, very possible. So let's go, crew. The Norscan Ice Trolls stand ready. You know, on the upside for the Ice Trolls, if they can stand by the infantry and like frostbite things, like they can drag down cavalry. They hit pretty damn hard with, you know, 120. It's just that they don't have the juicy missile resist of the dreaded Stone Trolls, which is what makes them so damn good often. Dwarves hating you is a good thing, though. Yeah, dwarves pretty much always hate me in campaign. Just played Carrot Kadrin and the dwarves hate you. Oh, Dimitri, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, the dwarves are just, they just love trolling campaigns. I don't know what it is. I think like they were allied with like an elector count or something that I beat up, and then they just like were like, total war, it's a grudge, you know. I was like, oh my god. Eventually, we of course defeated them because it's just campaign, and you know, pretty much. Well, you'll get to a point when you play so much campaign, like once you get experienced enough, you're just always gonna win your campaigns against the AI, unless you meme or just do stupid shit, you know, which is something I do quite often. So, Mounted Yeoman Archers pulling back, shooting at the Norse controls, of course. They can shake off minor damage for sure. They have a little bit of armor, 60 armor, and they can also heal here. But yeah, still nice Yeoman play from Ice Power. The Cavalry pulling forward, Fey Enchantress. Oh man, Wolfric on a Chariot is a very interesting choice. I feel like on horse he would have been better here at like killing Fey and or the Paladins, but in this case, the Britonian Cavalry is switching ranks. And here they come, for the lady! The Knights of the Realm, couching their lances. Oh, Catan better pull back! You better pray, trolls! Oh god, they're gonna get it! Okay, Ice Power pulls back at the last second. And so too did Catan. That was really close. Those Ice Trolls could have been punished really badly. Over here we have the Fey and Paladin Goon Squad running as the Soul Crusher prepares to crush some souls. And Ice Trolls do overextend here into the Knights of the Realm, but it seems like they're doing pretty good. These Knights of the Realm are actually getting pretty badly beaten down here, and you can see the big Chungus Mammoth in the distance with its glowing blue eyes will be able to push them back. So yeah, honestly, a pretty favorable trade for Norska, but if Wolfric keeps overextending like this, and, you know, gets surrounded by cavalry, that would just probably be an instant GG. Wolfric, what are you doing? Get back! Okay, he turns around his chariot. The Metalcaster needs to make sure to advance with army as well. And now we get another big engagement. Ice Power committing the Knights of the Realm into the Troll Blob, which I think is a little bit of a mistake considering how many trolls are there. Berserker's also piling in, and the Fey Enchantress and the Paladins now trying to goon the Soul Crusher. Wolfric probably needs to get his hands dirty as well and make sure to jump back in there and fight. But the Knights do get broken off. Trolls take a lot of shock damage, but it looks like they will recover. Berserker is grinding through most of the chaff. But the Soul Crusher needs to be helped here. Trolls need to pile in. Wolfric needs to get in there. Wolfric should be attacking Fey in the back right now. Big mistake kind of keeping him out here. But again, it looks like Catan will indeed be pulling it in. Very good play by Catan there. Using the Hunter of Champions, charging into the Fey Enchantress. And now the big Chungus Soul Crusher is still having a pretty good time. So far, a very even game. Berserker's cutting through the Battle Pilgrims. No surprises. Looks like there is going to be a Searing Doom going down on the back of these Battle Pilgrims. A nice cavalry charge from Ice Power, though. Going to be just bursting through those Berserkers and doing a fair amount of shock damage. But Dwellers below as well. Being popped here, it looks like. Was that a Dwellers? I'm not sure. Fey Enchantress, does she have that spell? She does. And Wolfric on the Chariot. He's got the hunt. He's going after the Fey Enchantress and the Soul Crusher rampaging through the battle lines. Actually looking like Norska is a little bit favored in this situation. Now, here comes a big charge from the Knights of the Lionhearted, hammering into the Soul Crusher. And doing some good damage, but the Soul Crusher, of course, is a big scary mammoth and will be able to push in there. No basic peasant archers. Very interesting choice. It's all yeomen, so their damage output isn't going to be that of like a legion of peasant archers. And now Wolfric is trying to bounce over and go after the Paladin. One Paladin is terror routed there, and the Fey Enchantress is on her way back into fight. Soul Crusher taking some brutal damage, but not before it also brings down a lot of these Knights of the Realm. Looks like an overcasted Searing Doom going to be hitting. We'll see if the Knights can get away. Many of the Knights will be caught in the bombardment there. You can see the little cone aura there of them getting tagged. And Horseric the Wanderer wandering after the Fey Enchantress, who actually is shaken. And guys, it looks like Norska might be coming in with the Haggard Chariot upset. Here it comes. And the Ice Trolls, too, doing work. This one Paladin getting caught. That's a big part of beating the Fey Enchantress. If you can eliminate her Paladins from battle and, you know, get them away from that Death Star that they like to form with the Fey, you can have a really good time. So the Trolls are regenerating. The Soul Crusher pulling back out of Yeoman Archer range. For Norska, the big thing is to make sure they more or less stay together and don't let this happen, right? This is like how they could lose the game. Yeah, so good response by Catan. He pulls back pretty quick. I mean, the Fey plus the Paladin Goon Squad would do lethal damage there. Really good Earthblood by Ice Power as well. Able to heal them up. And now there are some Berserkers nearby. There also are some Norscan Trolls. And the Soul Crushers coming in. And suddenly, the Norscan characters, or excuse me, the Britonian characters, might be in a bit of a pickle. Depends if Hunter of Champions is off cooldown. Not used on the Fey Enchantress, but like if you could Frostbite this Paladin and kill it, I think that would potentially win you the game. I think that Wulfric needs to turn around and ram this Paladin right now. Like, just keep it from escaping. If the Paladin escapes, bit of a different story. Might be able to heal, might be able to unify your forces, and boom, we are in a whole different galaxy. Galaxy far, far away. So there it goes. Paladin getting worked on pretty good, down to 1500 HP. Some of the Britonian cavalry coming in to try and salvage the situation, which is a very, very good choice. And it looks like there is going to be a Glittering Robes going down and Enrage. So suddenly the big Chungus Mammoth here is like just an absolute linebacker. Wulfric better be careful though. He's taking some anti-large shots. One Paladin very close to breaking. -12 will be running. But Wulfric is getting worked on as the Norscan Ice Trolls pile in to help. And will that Paladin be rallied? It looks like Ice Power pulling back the Fey Enchantress, wanting to rally that situation. Balance of Power is very, very close. But the problem is, even if Norsca has a lot of good infantry left in the late game, right? Like, it's not going to matter. If the Fey Enchantress is still active with her Mortis Engine and you don't have any single entities to push her out, you are probably going to lose that game. So Chariot Man chasing down the Paladin. Got to be careful not to overextend. Most likely should pull back here. And Katam does an excellent job of pulling back while also using a Searing Doom here. But Wulfric staying the course here, super risky. Could, like I said, lose him the game. Like, any of these overextensions, very, very dangerous. 0 leadership, 12. Looks like Wulfric just barely stabilizes as the Norscan hordes continue to move. For Britonia, it's mostly just Yeoman archers, and the Soul Crusher Mammoth is going to be a big problem. The one Paladin does rally in the distance. Fey Enchantress does not have regrowth, though, so there is not going to be any big healing. It's just going to be Earthbloods, but Shaman Sorcerer also needs some help. Norsca probably going to have to try and zip over there and save that Sorcerer. That's a really nice grab. You know, it's full health and probably still has some magic left in the tank. Scroll of Shielding might be active. Searing Doom here is pretty cute. At least get that off, you know, take out some Yeoman archers before you go quietly out for the lady. And yeah, a bunch of the Yeoman archers do get nuked there. Might actually break those units. -61 leadership, maybe even a shatter coming in. Wulfric moving into the chariot, but got to make sure not to move ahead of your forces. Wulfric has to stay back with the Norscan Ice Trolls, because someone like Ice Power Total War is going to be smelling blood in the water and will most certainly pick off Wulfric at the first chance he gets. So very, very even game. Ice basically fighting for his life here, but I actually think it's an even game now. I think the way the game has kind of evolved with the Shaman Sorcerer getting pushed off, you know, that's very strong. Norscan Ice Trolls are still healing, so too are these ones. Got to keep them all together, though. Norsca has to consolidate its forces. Ice Power Total War basically going to chase down everything he can. He still has a fair amount of Pilgrims, too, up here. Yeah, look at that. Battle Pilgrims. And Norsca really just going for the kill here. Actually hunting the champion. Ah, what a dicey play, though, man. Yeah, the other one's coming in. I mean, they both bait cooldowns out of each other. Like, Ice uses Favor of the Fae. Wulfric uses Hunter of Champions. I think Hunter of Champions carries a little bit more weight in terms of like overall value accrued. But what Ice is going to do here is he's probably going to unify his forces. He's going to get the Paladin and the Fae join with the Britonian Legion over here, and both players will have like a final battle in this area of the battlefield, which is fine. Banner rules, of course, that we are still currently playing under, but there, of course, are some new rules in the work, as Arrow did stop doing the banner rules. Yeah, new rules are in the work. But for now, we're still using banner rules up until the DLC comes out, and you guys get the picture. So will they catch the Paladin? The Paladin is actually shaken. The Trolls are very, very quick on his tail. 54 speed. If there was a Hunter of Champions right now to slow that Paladin, the Trolls might actually catch here. But Berserkers, Marauders, some great weapons as well. And here comes the Trolls gathering up. Still healing, mind you. That's pretty big. Like, we've seen like Ramen multiplayer and all these characters just get like massive value out of their healing. But Wulfric is very damaged. He's going to have to get some really optimal engagements. That is going to be extremely important. So the Yeoman Archer is looking like they want to charge in here, and the Marauders going to be countercharging, but the Britonians shall be flanking in the slightly slower Norscan army in heavy pursuit. Soul Crusher also has to put some respect on his name here. He's got 2,500 HP, so enough to fight, but yeah, you got to watch out for Wulfric here. Got to make sure he doesn't overextend. So, great weapons moving into peasant mobs. Berserkers also saturating into combat. And the Mammoth as well as the two Trolls need to get over here ASAP. Nice Sea Fang there, the Haggard pirate ship, or longship I should say, going through the Wardens of Montfort as well as the peasant mobs. And up on the high ground, we do have Wulfric getting bullied, so pretty much the worst case scenario for him. Fight or Die is keeping him active, but he's going to break there. So now it's up to the Soul Crusher. A little bit of a miss micro. Wulfric should have stayed with his characters, because then if Britonia comes into fight, you know, they have to take a very scary trade here. Now, the game still isn't over yet. Soul Crusher is going to be a mighty nightmare to finish. And the Paladins are not immune to psychology. So one Paladin's actually broken, negative 27 here. The Troll's taking him to Poundland, if you're from the UK. You probably know it's up there. But the Paladin here, negative 6. The other Paladin getting karate chopped as well. Oh my god, if the Paladins break off the edge of the battlefield, I think that's GG. I actually think the Soul Crusher will defeat the Fey Enchantress. The Trolls making the toll be paid. Now piling in to go after the Fey Enchantress. Might be able to get her. This one Paladin being hunted by the Soul Crusher. It looks like some loose Knights of the Lionheart are going to be charging here. But the Mammoth shall be intercepting them. Very, very much like the Mumu kill into the Rohirrim there, as only 2 will survive. I think the Paladins will rally, though. Yeah, one Paladin rallies here. The Trolls moving into fight, but their leadership is so fickle. I mean, even just fighting against, like, the Fae. Mortis Engine, they don't give a shit about that. Mortis Engine doesn't do much against Trolls. But losing 2 Troll units here to the Fae would be very problematic. Soul Crusher is broken as well. How did that happen? It has 1900 HP. What? Okay, that's game probably for the Norskins. I have no idea how the Soul Crusher actually broke there. It had just defeated the Paladin. Oh my god. And yeah, that's game over. Wow. Ice Power Total War with a very, very close victory. For the lady. Yeah, man. Well played to both players, though. That was a great match by both Katam as well as Ice Power. Very, very close. Chariot Rick is interesting. I'm curious about him, how he did here. 2,500 value on Chariot Rick, so he paid for himself. He did good. Soul Crusher did really well. The Trolls all did good. Like, what is it, the Twilight Zone? And this is against a very competitive Britonia build. Very, very competitive. I mean, the Yeomen are kind of interchangeable with basic Peasant Archers, but yeah. Man. That was crazy, crazy good. So the score now is going to be 6. So, one more challenger against the Ice Power. We will do a fast and furious map here. And let's do a fun map. You guys want to do Slan Gold? All right, map set. Guys, we're doing the Slan Gold for the last map here. Oh my god. Hey, Katam, dude, you played a great game. That was really close. And dude, your Lord did good, Katam. Wolfric did good. He got 2,500 value. Okay, let's see who pays attention to the map here. I hope neither of them do. I hope it's just like... I hope they just like... They're like, oh, it's a normal map. Essence of Chaos, please. You guys want the Essence of Chaos? Okay, we can do the Essence of Chaos. I mean, Slan Gold is so unfair. So Ice picks 3. Then... Alright, tell him. Spare me the typing, Ice Power. Yeah, Tiago. There's going to be a ton of streams coming up this week. Like, I'll be streaming almost every day. Soon. Soon, trademark. Yeah. We're on this Slan Gold. Okay. We'll change it. We'll change it to the Spirit Essence of Chaos. I feel bad because Ice Power would have started in a choke and like could have just sat there and bombarded his opponent. That would have been really unfair for our newcomer here, Sheaston. So, like, I don't mind meme maps, but that's just too bad. The Witchwood Glade, it's a shame. That map's pretty cool, too. Cool looking, I should say. I think it's like Spirit Essence of Chaos or some shit. Some weird name. The Spirit Essence of Chaos. It's the Essence of Chaos. Okay. Yeah. That one was just too much. What do you guys think about an underway tournament? Holy shit. The dwarves would laugh so hard. The dwarves would cackle in Dawi if they got underway tournaments, because like they just couldn't be flanked. They would just like sit there with like their gun lines and cannons and just blast you. Yeah. Bring back the gold. No, Slan Gold would have given Ice Power a massive advantage. And you know, I don't know if I've seen Sheaston play here. We'll have to see. I don't know about his multiplayer experience. So I didn't want him to like come in and just like have this brutal experience on that map, you know. Yeah, cool. So they are getting their business ready. Soul Crusher saw a mouse and panicked. Yeah, dude, what the hell happened to your Soul Crusher? It was like, if your Soul Crusher had just fought, you would have won the game. It just broke. Was it just exhausted and just like, screw this shit? Its name is the frickin' Soul Crusher. You know? Okay, so we got Empire going in. Yes, this is going to be a scrappy fight. Mushroom Cave is a good one, yeah. But even so, Mushroom Cave's a little bit unfair because one player starts with like a huge flank denial, so they can like abuse that. Skaven would be pretty good in any gun faction that's worried about their flanks being compromised would be like super strong in an underway fight. Because you like I think you can still Vanguard behind people in underways. There's like a little space in the back, but like it got its soul crushed. Yeah, I don't know. No, the Underway maps are all pretty different. We could do an Underway tournament with like Skaven dwarves, like all the subterranean factions. The greenskins, I think, go underground occasionally. Oh, Anakin, I am too weak. Help me. All right, Ice Power, thank you for explaining the process to our good friend Sheaston here. Shaston, probably, how you would say that. Skaven just want everyone off their damn roof. Yeah, fair play. Yeah, I mean, how would you feel if, you know, these humanoids were walking around on your ceiling all day? Skaven just trying to live their best lives underground and, you know. Swamp of Terror is a fun map. It's kind of hard to see on it. It has, like, really weird, like, reflections and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so we got... Oh, look at this. Soul Crusher left for his Union smoke break, I reckon. I love that answer from Shaston here. The Soul Crusher just... I can just imagine the Soul Crusher sitting there just all defeated from working some soul-crushing job that it hates, you know, and it's just like smoking a cigarette like, oh god, I hate my life. Just, that's very, very good. Sigmar! You guys want the Sigmar? It's coming. Sigmar, preserve us! Yeah, it'll happen. We have it. Okay, Empire. We got Empire from Ice Power and Greenskins for Shaston. I hope Ice Power goes for like double Hellstorm or double Hellblaster on this map. Yeah. When did Palpatine turn into a drunk Irish guy? I have no idea what you're referring to, but we'll take it. I like Skaven in my basement. I just saw a Skaven in my garden. Yeah, there's some Skaven that live on my neighbor's property, and they always like come over. I see them running along the fence. They're big too. They're big Skaven, big rats, big city rats, feasting on all the trash. That's pretty funny. Yeah. Life's good, man. So we got Greenskins versus the Proud Sons of Sigmar. This battle has your consent. I can assure you Ice Power is going to do something very spicy. This is big. You know, if Ice Power wins this, he wins the entire stream. But if Shaston wins it, then he can continue to play until he loses to try and surpass the record of your boy Ice Power Total War. Turin making jam, Sigmar preserve us, yeah. Take me to my men. That would be another good one for the Karl Franz videos. Like, take me to the electronics aisle. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff you could do. Do I have to say it all angrily and fast like that, though? That might actually, like, scare people. Have you seen the trailer from Warhammer Battle March 2008? Which one? Is that Mark of Chaos you're talking about? One where the warrior priest and the Empire State Troopers are in the forest and they get attacked by the Chaos Warriors with the Bloodthirster and the elf helping and stuff. Speaking of Palpatine, what if the end game of The Mandalorian, they just bring him back again as the villain? That'd be so funny. Holy shit. That'd be so corny. That'd be terrible. A rogue idol. Ooh. Very risky against the Empire. Yeah. Shaston checking the banner rules. No worries, Shaston. You just have some fun. Just bring at least 300 units and, you know, treat yourself. We are, of course, playing under banner rules for this, but it's still, you know, we're a little bit more casual. So if somebody makes a small mistake, we're not going to be like, game loss. You know, it'll be... Unless it's really egregious. Of course, like draw kiting or like that type of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. That was probably one of the best trailers of all time. You know, Creative Assembly really makes good trailers too, though. Like, they kill it with their trailers. Yeah, Mark of Chaos had an amazing trailer. I think Warhammer Age of Reckoning or the online one had some okay stuff. Yeah, I can't quite remember. Sigh, somehow Palpatine returned again. Yeah, it's happening. Give us the Hellblasters. Looks like the crew is ready. Palpatine is my favorite character, though, in Star Wars, so I'd be happy if he returned. I don't care. Just getting to see that actor play Palpatine again, I just like, whatever. Sign me up. God, the new Star Wars movies were such trash. God, I was so disappointed. Like, they turned me into a big Star Trek fan. I watched those, and I was like, I need some sci-fi in my life. Although I haven't really watched new Star Trek, though, but anyways, discussion for another day. I don't need to get into a rant about it. I've had like 100 of those. Yeah. They did Luke so dirty. That's why it was pretty cool in Mandalorian what they did with Luke Skywalker. All right. Let's do it to it. Oh, baby, triple. Oh, baby, a triple. All right, guys, we got triple Hellstorms, or Hellblasters. Not 2, but 3. And this is the perfect map for them because they start in range. This is a very small map, so, oh, yeah. Talk dirty. So, for the rest of Ice Power's army, it's just going to be State Troopers backed by triple Hellstorm Rocket, or triple Hellblaster Volley Guns. We have Volkmar the Grim, a Bright Wizard, and a couple Empire Knights, just to be like roadblocks. Because obviously, if you invest in this many Hellblasters, you're going to have a relatively rough time, right? Oh, no worries, Shock Me Sane. Not a problem. So for the forces of your boy Sheaston, going for a massive balls-deep vanguard. He's got Night Goblins, Spider Riders, just all the usual suspects. Triple Stone Troll, Grom the Paunch, and Orc Shaman with some Savage Orc Boar Boys. Obviously knowing he's playing against the Dark Lord Ice Power, so he's going to have to bring out all the big guns here. So those Hellblaster Volley Guns, though, will tear those Trolls apart super quick. Super quick. Khan! Oh yeah, I love the Wrath of Khan bit. Yeah, the Expanse definitely scratches the sci-fi bit. Hey Drizo, if you haven't seen Stargate SG-1 and you don't mind like stuff that has that 90s feel to it, a little kind of old school, Stargate SG-1 is a really, really fun show. I'm on like episode 15 of season 1. I've just been going deep on it. All right. Sigmar, preserve us! Here comes the Hellblaster Volley Guns. Immediately, they should start shooting into the Ice Trolls and or Grom the Paunch. If you cast Flaming Sword of Ruin on the Hellblasters and target all 3 at Grom the Paunch, he will be deleted so freaking quick. Yeah, the triple Hellblaster is a very American build. This is definitely in that purview, yes. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this. Yeah, I mean, the build from the Greenskins is good too. Night Goblins moving in. Are they Fanatics? I don't think so. Yeah, it looks like they're basic Night Goblins. So as far as trading, I mean, Volkmar will be very effective in the front line. The Empire Knights will lose to Stone Trolls in combat. Got to be careful. Make sure to fight by their troops. Yeah, SG-1 is really good. I'll probably watch Atlantis afterwards, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Babylon 5. I'll go do that one. I'm loving it. And I'm like so excited because I have 10 seasons of Stargate to look forward to. It's like discovering something new. You know? My grandpa used to say that, you know, before he passed and he was getting older. He's like, you know, when you get old, you forget a bunch of shit. And then when you watch it, it's like watching it for the first time. You know, I was like, oh, that's a very enlightened perspective to have, you know? Well, let's see what's happening. Ready when you are. Both players seem to be good. Ice Power says King Giga Chad will be my new Smurf name. Giga Chad. Giga Chad. That's pretty funny for sure. All right. So in the back, there's a little bit of a sneaky vanguard, some Goblin Wolf Riders. The Expanse is also an amazing show. Yes, I 100% agree. I'll do Babylon 5 and Farscape when the time comes. I wish we would get more fantasy TV shows that are actually good. And I guess we get some. We get some here and there. I want to be old now. Yeah. We'll see. So a little bit of banter going back and forth. Sheaston saying that he or she, I'm not sure, is indeed ready. The battle for the fate of the old world is here. Will the Greenskins march through this strange landscape? All right. Oh my god. All 3 Hellblasters immediately given an attack order onto the Trolls. Let's watch these Trolls. There are trees. Here it comes. Okay, here comes the first volley. Pretty decent damage as the Trolls are peppered, although they do have a little bit of resistance against it. But yeah, they're doing good work. Grom the Paunch going to be diving into the front line. The Wa is upon us as the Empire Knights do surge in. Wolf Riders hiding in the back is quite good. And a Brain Buster going down. Really nice play by Sheaston so far. Yeah, he's getting in there, and the Trolls, of course, advancing into the battle lines. Will the Hellblaster Volley Guns do enough damage? 1 unit of Stone Trolls is certainly taking a bit of a pounding as all 3 Hellblasters shoot into it. It's down to about half health right now. So if the Hellblasters can just methodically move across, you could also put 1 Hellblaster on each Troll. That might actually be a little bit more effective. It seems like some of them are just kind of missing, but... This Troll unit completely bunker busted, however. The Shaman is going to be able to get through, but Empire Knights should be able to interrupt that character, and the Hellblasters continue to shoot into the Stone Trolls here, while there is going to be a burning head onto these Night Goblins on the flank. Nice Wolf Rider play here by Sheaston. He sneaks in and gets on a Hellblaster Volley Gun. That was a thing of beauty, and guys, there's still Stone Trolls and Grom the Paunch active. It looks like the Hellblaster Volley Gun might be getting taken offline before they can generate much more value. I mean, a couple spears here do break, but Sheaston is pushing into the lines really quick. Will the Hellblasters get functional? Honestly, maybe just going after Grom the Paunch is the way here, because without Grom, I think that Volkmar might be able to just be kind of a bully. More Spider Riders surging into the battle lines, it looks like in the back. Yeah, we got Savage Orc Boar Boys who've done the big circuitous route. Check this out. They came up and over the hill. Brainbuster going down here, and it looks like the Sons of Sigmar are in a little bit of trouble here. Ice Power's triple Hellblaster. He might have memed a little bit too close to the sun, but we will find out here in the next episode. The wall going down, Volkmar the Grim valiantly holding back the tide. Here, the Hellblaster volley gun is saying, fire, reload, fire, as they stand and fight, shooting into the Stone Trolls. Volkmar the Grim able to get away as more State Troopers do pile in to hold back the Paunch, who has all of his different buffs popped. And the Hellblaster volley guns, yeah, they need to start getting some big value. I think they're shooting into Grom now. Here, Ice Power does stabilize, but the cannon crew is broken, and they are ambushed by the Savage Orc Boar Boys, who took the big hill route here. Okay. Crazy stuff. Double Hailstorm Rocket Battery shooting in. Looks like they're trying to finish off all the Trolls, and the Trolls are taking a lot of damage. Hellblaster volley guns definitely digging in there, doing some serious work. Empire Spearmen and Empire Knights engaging the Savage Orc Boar Boys. Yeah, having 2 guns online at this point in the game is pretty good. Grom the Paunch taking those shots right in the face, and it doesn't look like the Sons of Sigmar have any mass to actually stop them. Brainbuster going down on the Hellblaster won't do too much. It might knock the crews off the pieces, but typically you want to use that against like State Troopers and things like that. But, you know, it still does disrupt the firing, which is very good for ye old Paunch. So, looking around, some Empire Knights do come back in, trying to salvage the Bright Wizard. We have Volkmar the Grim. Yeah, 3 Hellblasters is a lot to defend, guys, especially against Greenskins, who have some formidable play here. Yeah, you know, Shayston's playing a very good game. His micro is good. He's got 2 Stone Trolls coming back now, which is pretty disastrous. I think we're going to beat army losses pretty quick for the Sons of Sigmar. Sigmar bless this ravaged body, but, you know, you guys for once can thank the dreaded Greenskins, because we will be getting more games as Shayston will be allowed to try and surpass Ice Power's record. We will see. Little Gaze going down there. Massive rout, though, for the Greenskins. As the Stone Trolls break, could this be the dreaded comeback? So we got some Spearmen and some Empire Knights fighting the Trolls here. Banishment in the back from Volkmar the Grim trying its best. And, wow, no way he's going to be able to come back. Spearmen are rallying here. We got the Bright Wizard back as well. Balance of Power is creeping back towards the middle here. Stone Trolls, of course, getting a nice catch on the Empire Knights. Empire Knights not the best in combat. 6 of the Sigmar Sons chasing down Night Goblin Archers. Those guys are the true heroes. But could Volkmar the Grim carry this game? As a matter of fact, Volkmar does fire damage, and it looks like Grom the Paunch is kind of getting worked on a little bit. He's actually shaken. Oh my god. Oh my god, is Sigmar going to be blessing this ravaged body? Fireball going in. It looks like after the Orc Shaman, and it hits the Orc Shaman. That will even further tilt the balance of power as Grom the Paunch tries to escape, but he's a little bit trapped here. Lucky Banner will give him some good sustainability. Ooh, really good Brainbuster. That was a nice one. Hits the Spearman. Does it give Grom enough space to escape, though? Doesn't. Despite the Lucky Banner, Volkmar is getting in there. Volkmar and Deathhoof here are biting the Paunch in the back. He is shaken, and now we have an even game as the 2 blobs prepare to fight. The State Troopers and Volkmar against the very tattered Stone Trolls, who will be immune to psychology, unfortunately, for Ice Power because of the language of the boys. So another Fireball going down from the Bright Wizard, an excellent play. That could potentially keep Grom the Paunch from rallying. And a 1 and a 2, and it hits the Paunch. He's down to 430. Is the Paunch going to shatter? Okay, that is big. Because Volkmar the Grim might be able to... Oh, now that the Paunch is gone, language of the boys is going to wear off here in a second. The Stone Trolls might break. Sigmar, preserve us! Volkmar the Grim dropping a big bombardment right there. Will nuke off the low-tier Greenskin Infantry. The Bright Wizard is going to be caught. And unfortunately for Volkmar, the Paunch has returned, but the Stone Trolls are no longer immune to psychology. So terror routes from Volkmar could be a very real thing, but Volkmar is running out of support. He's being surrounded and beaten down. Will the Grim one be able to stabilize here? Probably trying to kill the Orc Shaman is good, but Stone Trolls hit very hard. They have 120 weapon strength, good AP. And Volkmar the Grim will be going down. So, yeah, GG well played. And Shayston will be taking over the King of the Hill spot. Holy shit, what a game. I mean, that was a heavy meme with triple Hellblasters, but that's not to take away from Shayston's play. He was very on point with his Brainbusters, his engagements, and rallying units. He played a very, very nice game. Very well played there. Dude, that was a crazy good game. Sigmar, preserve us! So, let's see how the Hellblasters did. We have 500, 1100, and 620. Not the worst, but it's hard to protect against like an army like this for sure. Volkmar 2400, the Paunch 1200. Yeah, man, crazy stuff. All right. So, Shayston, I think that's how he spells his name. He is going to be getting up on the board. And let's make his name a little bit more powerful after that victory. So now Shayston will play until he loses. He has the opportunity to defeat Ice Power if he can win 6 more games. That's it. Otherwise, Ice Power will still win. Shayston says, I had to try hard so much. Hey, no worries, man. No worries. So, we will do Have we done Troll Country? I don't think we have. Do a little Troll Country action. I think we did. You know what? Let's do a subterranean battle. We got Reginald Puggington in here. That was rad. Thanks for teaching me in a bit. Keep the stream going for a bit. Yeah, no. The more he wins, the longer the stream goes. Jason just needs 6 more. All right, so here we are. Ice Power got trolled. Yeah, he did. He played, you know, he memed so hard. It's got to be tough to pull off triple Hellstorm against a good competitive greenskin build. You know, maybe if the map was a little bit bigger too, because the greenskins were in his face instantly, like really quick. It was a valiant effort on both sides. Both players played well. Chaston played a great game. His magic was really on point, you know. Yeah. That was that. So, Ice Power is still in a very strong position to win. He's got 6 right now. So, Chaston needs to win, you know, no biggie, just 6 games to surpass him. Otherwise, Ice will win the King of the Hill stream. Yeah, Stone Trolls, them getting immune to psychology from Grom is pretty powerful. That's definitely a big problem. All right, so Reginald Puggington is here. So, Chaston, pick 3 and ban 1. Just kind of explaining the process. I think Ice Power did a good job explaining it to him before. Yeah, you had a good run today. You gave us Crone Hellebron, you gave us some Corsairs, some Sisters of Slaughter. All sorts of fun stuff, man. Yeah. So, he is thinking, deciding on his schemes. I think triple Hellstorm, you'd never see it against greenskins, but I know there are a couple weird meta builds with Empire where you use double Hellstorm against greenskins. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of that. I like to use I do like Volkmar, but you know, occasionally Franz can be good because Franz can beat the shit out of Grom the Paunch. You could do like Franz with like a box with like 2 great swords, Sigmar Sons. Steam Tank in the middle can be pretty good too for like shooting trolls and Paunch and stuff. And yeah, there's a couple ways to play it. It's definitely greenskin favored, 100%, but Empire can win it. Yeah, meme tanks are actually good in that matchup. They're pretty good. The constant terror routing and like their durability, they're very tough to kill. Yeah, no. So Skaven, Lizardmen, and Greenskins here. So Puggington, you get 1 ban. 1 ban also. So basically what Chaston would want to do here is ban 1 faction that he feels uncomfortable playing with the 3 factions he selected. And then his opponent will pick and ban 1, and then he picks from his remaining 2. Quick Strike. Yeah, we're going, but not for too much longer. You are at the tail end of the stream. We have another, probably another, well, it depends on how many games Chaston can win. Oh, and he bans Vampire Counts, which is Pug's main faction, which is smart. Vampires are pretty good against Greenskins and Skaven. And, you know, they do okay against Lizards, but that was a smart ban. I respect that. I respect that. Greenskins, with Skaven, I hate playing Vampire Counts, and so too with Greenskins, so. Although the Great Hadries has taught me the way of the Double Chieftain, so I've been using that in a lot of those big monster fight factions, and it's been pretty good. All right. What will the Pug pick? The mighty Pug dog. Yeah, I miss my little Pug. I mean, he wasn't full Pug, but, you know, he had that little Pug face. Oh, he's going Yvresse. The Grim Warden is here. Yes. All right. So will Puggington be the King Slayer? And end the stream with 1 fell stroke. We'll find out here. He's going to go Yvresse, banning Lizards, which is smart. Okay, so High Elves against Skaven is fine. High Elves versus Greenskins is massively Greenskin favored, but Reginald's a very good player. So I think he can make some magic happen. I don't know who he'd prefer to face. We will see. We are on ye old troll country. Yeah, the essentially 5 SEM, but technically not Chieftain builds. Yes, Squawk, exactly. And we're here. Yvresse. I wish he could bring the Mistwalker units. Like, I wish some of the Mistwalker units were like added into multiplayer, but you had to play Yvresse. So like you had a reason to bring Eltharion, but you had to play sub-faction, and you had to like. I think that would be really cool. That would be super badass. Yeah. When is the next stage of the Legendary Lords tournament? I'll have the final round done before the DLC drops. So sometime in the next couple weeks. We literally have the semifinal, like 1 semifinal game and the grand finals to be played, and that's it. So Yeah, we're very, very close. Very, very close indeed. All right, I'll go greens. I'll go Skaven. No greenskin cheese twice. Oh, no worries, Shaston. Don't worry about it, man. You know, the Grim Warden waits. So Hyles versus Skaven on a smallish map. Bolt throwers could be good. Cavalry play is also strong. Mass cavalry against Skaven is pretty good. You go like 4 silver helms with, you know, Teclis or Eltharion in this case, and then you bring Reaver archers, and you have like some bolt throwers. There's lots of crazy stuff. Hey, Hadries, thank you, man. Appreciate that. The sword and board of Mistwalker should be in the game at least. Yeah, I'd love that. I think that'd be a nice change for High Elves. High Elves like feel kind of funny, and I think some of the Mistwalker units could be a welcome change. But you have to play Eltharion for them. You know, there's got to be a price. Hey, Ice Power, go get some food, man. Oh, you're just like me, dude. I eat breakfast at like 1 or like noon, and then I eat dinner at like 11 at night. All in the family, dude. It's a scheme. He picks Yvresse. I think we're going to see the Grim Warden. The Yvresse Griffin units is so damn OP, is it? Yeah, I haven't really played with them too much except in the campaign. Yeah, I guess you'd have to retune them, Andy, huh? But then if you retune them, it kind of ruins the campaign experience, so... yeah, it's kind of a tricky one. Man, if I was in charge of, like, adding factions and units, holy shit. Guys, we would have so much stuff. Mini Turdy with campaign units? We did do that. We've had several of those before, Hammond, and basically what happened is everybody picked the Knights of Calidor and would just use the campaign-exclusive dragons and just go balls deep. Yeah. Calidor was very dominant in that tournament. Empire was pretty good too, because you could bring like the Carroburg Greatswords and like the Emperor's Wrath steam tank. Like there was some really, really fun stuff. Yeah, those are some fun tournaments. We'll do those again someday. We'll do them again. Don't you worry. They have an unbreakable Spear Archer hybrid unit. Yeah, they have like unbreakable Aldern Seaguard. I don't know how bad that would be, honestly. It'd be pretty annoying, I guess. If everyone is OP, no one will be. That's kind of like how Age of Sigmar is, right? Like in Age of Sigmar rules, like from some of the rules I've read, I'm like, holy shit, this is insane. Then I'm like, holy shit, this is insane when I look at the next codex. Then I look at my Cities of Sigmar, just all the forgotten, discarded models just shoved into one codex, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm in danger. Oh man. I need to clean my keyboard. That thing is grimy as hell. Yeah, oh Hammond, those tournaments were a while back. Yeah, they were a while back. Lord Codil too is so OP. Oh my god. Yeah, because I think if you play Dryka sub-faction, you can bring like wolves and bats and sort of like weird shit like that. That would actually be pretty fun. Yeah. Some of the Blessed Lizardman units are cool, like the 90 speed Carnosaur. Yeah, like the true Jurassic Park one. All right, the Pug and Cheeston taking the big think here about their armies. All the marbles are on the line, all the credit and whatnot. Where's yeah, unfortunately little Wookiee passed away. I told you guys on stream, but he passed away about 4 weeks ago, yeah. He was very old and very ill, so you know, he had a good life. He was God, he was like 16 or 17, we don't know. Because when we rescued Wookiee, we rescued him and they said, "Oh, he's 2 years old." And then when we got him, took him to the vet, they're like, "Oh, he's more like 5 or 6." And yeah, he lived a good life. He was spoiled. Lady Turin spoiled him out of the universe. He got spoiled so hard. Panty Mass Soul Wars, Sequirators of the Moment. Oh, are those are Stormcast, yeah? Yeah, I think so. The Troll Country here. Oh, Scott, no worries, man. Yeah, no, most of you guys knew about that, but he was very old and ill. He had like neurological problems and like a bunch of stuff going on. Yeah, little guy. He had a good long life. He was loved. He was spoiled. He was mean to me all the time, which he enjoyed greatly. One of his favorite things was tormenting me. So basically, if Lady Turin or Anna isn't around, my wife, he's nice to me. But if Anna is around, then he was like this little guard dog that would just like snarl at me every time I walked by. You know, he would just like snap at my feet. I'd be like, "Ah, Wookie, what the hell?" And he had no teeth, so it was so funny. Oh, Andrew, for sure. All right. It is time. The Grim Warden is here. Yes, Eltharion the Grim. You know, this is such a cool scheme. Like, the way this bird is painted. I could totally paint that on my tabletop model. Yeah, that's actually really cool. Shit. I already have my scheme. I'm happy with it. But yeah, this would be like painting a griffin in Warhammer Fantasy, like Karl Franz's griffin or something. This would be a really, really cool scheme. All right, so for the forces here of Tor of Rest, we have Spearmen in the front. Backed up here by Tyrannok Chariots, Rahagra's Pride, a Flamespire Phoenix, Lothern Seaguard RORs, the Storm Runners. Oh no, those are the Talons of Torquelada. And then we do also have Eltharion the Grim. Yeah. It is time. Now for the forces here of the new King of the Hill, we have Shayston. He's got Skaven Slaves, Clan Rats in the secondary, a whole shit ton of Clan Rats, Council Guard, Lord Skrolk, Triple Jezzail, Poison Wind Mortars, and then a bunch of Wolf Rats. This looks like a good build, honestly. Feels very much like when I play against Hadri's and he's got a bunch of Jezzails giving my Empire Knights the dirty. Looks somewhat similar. Lord Skrolk, as far as spells, he has the Rat Summon as well as the Blades and the Pestilent Breath, which is pretty good against like basic spears and whatnot. And that is it. Cool build, man. We'll see if he can defend against the Chariots. My only concern is that there's no Rat Ogres. Rat Ogres are pretty much a counter against Silverhelms as well as Chariots, and without those, you might struggle. So that's my concern. Wolf Rats kind of can stop them, but then they take a ton of damage from the Chariots in the process, whereas Ogres just dominate them. So yeah, a little bit concerned about that, looking at this army. The fact that there's no Ogres en masse. He's got a ton of infantry, which will not be helpful at all against the Chariots. Eltharion the Grim, no Tempest targets for him, but he probably has Soul Quench, I would imagine. Yeah, Hand of Glory, and Apotheosis. And he did bring the Bombardment, Eltharion's AoE Bombardment, which does like no damage, so here it is. It is time. Let us know your predictions. The Skaven and their dreaded Jezzails, or is it going to be the High Elves, led by Reginald Puggington, the aspiring Kingslayer with Eltharion the Grim? Pretty funny, guys. So I'm playing in a D&D campaign right now with a couple pals, and I'm playing a Necromancer. So I just got the ability to summon for the first time in the last game I was playing, last session. And one of the summons that you can summon with the Necromancer using the Army of the Dead spell is called the Dread Warriors. So I was just like, every chance to throw in a pun, I was like, oh yes, the dreaded Dread Warriors shall instill dread on. And the people in my D&D group were like, shut up. Please just shut up. Oh my god. So my Necromancer in the D&D campaign can summon Dread Warriors now, which is hilarious. Yeah. I thought you guys would appreciate that. My Necromancer's name is also Sheev, as in Sheev Palpatine from Star Wars. And he walks around like half naked most of the time, and I took out like a Skaven-like character and made a hat out of its head. So he just wears like a Skaven hat on his head and just walks around just summoning Dread Warriors and cackling, and he's like all senile and just forgets and just is ridiculous, yeah. Pretty fun. Pretty fun stuff indeed. What a haggard spell, I know. All right, so Jezzail's shooting up into the Flame Spire Phoenix. Taking a little bit of damage, but the Pug is very, very quick to react to this. What system do you play? We're playing the newest, 5th edition, yeah, D&D. I have a wizard who's obviously subclassed into the Necromancer class. So basically, I don't use any spells outside of Necromancer spells, and that's my roleplay. You know, like I could obviously use different spells to be a little bit more efficient, but I just use only Necromancer spells. So, yeah. Oh man, Necromancer Cleric, call them the Blessed Dread. Oh, that sounds pretty fun. All right, so the Tyrannok Chariot's getting in there pretty deep, but there is going to be an ambush of Wolf Rats. But you'll see Wolf Rats. I mean, I don't know. There's 80 armor on these things. Chariot's pretty decent here. Also, the Flamespire Phoenix could fly over and drop bombardments. But yeah, so far the Wolf Rat's doing an okay job. Mortar teams and Jezzails shooting, and it looks like the bombardments are underway. Look at that. A couple of the Wolf Rats do get hit, and their leadership very fickle. And the Chariots get away quite happily, right? You can see they barely took any damage. Both Wolf Rat units might get chased off the map now, but the Skaven are pretty happy on the other side. Wolf Rats forming ranks, and now it looks like the forces of Tor of Rest are going to be charging over to intercept the Warplock Jezzail. So the Rahagra's Pride in the Troll Country, the mighty Troll Country, Rahagra's feast tonight. And the Warplock Jezzail is going to get hunted. Terrified. Wavering. Should be back in a second. But the Wolf Rats of the Skaven advance and do get a nice little push here on the Flamespire Phoenix. The Grim Warden hasn't really found a home yet. Probably could go after Skrolk Daddy. And the Rahagra's Pride is activated with the Mighty Roar, tanking the leadership of the Wolf Rats, who are really kind of struggling in this situation. But where is Eltharion going to go? It looks like he's coming in the Bunker Bus's position to try and just break the leadership of the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, which by Skaven standards have pretty good leadership. So more spears moving in. Wolf Rat's collapsing in the back once again, but probably honestly just going to be terror routed here in a hot second. Instantly terror routed, just like we anticipated. Tyrannoc Chariots running over the Warplock Jezzails, but honestly, Shaston has a pretty nice little position here. Though he has been compromised on this side, Skrulk Daddy doing a good job against Tyrannox. And if I were Shaston, I probably would use Liber 1 Shoticus against the Chariots, because everything else you can kind of deal with, but the Chariots are the big problems. Talons of Torquilada shooting into the Natty Bubo Sharpshooters. Double Jezzails unleashing heavy salvo fire into the War Lions of Krace, who appear to be just kind of sweeping around the battlefield. And also we do have the Flamespire Phoenix causing some serious problems. Skrulk with a very, very nice Rod of Corruption here. Looks like it hit a couple units, but yeah, and a Rat Summon going down. The Summon probably should have been right on top of the Talons of Torquilada. Looks like he did the Summon on top of the Silver Guard. Slight mistake there, but it's okay. Now the Grim Warden coming into battle, the Rat Man, which is what we call my brother's dog. My brother has a dog whose name is Batman, and we call him Ratman because he loves chasing like rats whenever he sees them, so he is Ratman. Eltharion the Grim with the Hand of Glory, going to be rocking 75 melee attack, battling the Skrulk. We'll see how he does in that particular trade. Spears are pressing into the Skaven lines right now, and yeah, they don't have an answer for the Chariots. Because honestly, Shaston seems to be playing a very, very nice game with what he has. But without the Rat Ogres to really punish the mass of the High Elves, like if he had gone with like a mass Cav Rush, Skaven would have had like no chance. So the Grim Warden going to be pulling back. It looks like the Archers do take a little bit of a tickling from that Scorch ability, but now Skrulk probably going to just be dragged down by Silverin. And maybe another Rat Summon is coming on the table here. Yes, Rat Summon to try and buffer Skrulk. Not a bad idea. So Eltharion the Grim, a very risky dive, diving into the Wolf Rats here. But I suppose he has the Chariots nearby, so he feels confident, maybe expecting the Terror Route to come down, which it probably will any second now. The Miststalker's Barrage, a pretty terrible ability, should be pretty heavily buffed in my opinion. Hopefully they'll change that someday, although I don't see them going back to a lot of the old factions. Over here, War Lions of Krace hunting down the Warplock Jezzails. We also have the Flamespire Phoenix getting a nice little poke and stroke on the Warplock here. Shutting those guns down. Do we have any other rallying Skaven forces? Bounce Power is pretty even, but it is High Elf favored. You have to remember the Bounce Power did start a little bit favored for the Skaven. Sometimes the game just works like that. It's a little bit weird, but Apotheosis going down. Oh no, could this be the throw? Eltharion the Grim might have bit off more than he can chew with the Skaven Horde, but okay, he gets the Terror Route on the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, and a little bit of a Miststalker's Bombardment actually doing something for once. And the Grim Warden is going to be able to get away. That was close. I mean, he started taking some big damage from the Council Guard there, but looks like he was able to escape. Skrulk Daddy and his summoned Clan Rats just fighting against the wall of Silver Guard. And where is Eltharion going to be going? It looks like after the Jezzails. Jezzails back here stuck fighting Clan Rats. And yeah, that Flamespire Phoenix would be very nice. Especially useful for taking out Skrulk Daddy in the later stages of the game. Here comes Eltharion the Grim Warden once again landing. How grim will he be? We'll find out here in a couple seconds. Warplock Jezzails are terrified. Really need to shut them down, though. If any like loose Jezzails come back on the edge of the battlefield, you're going to be in trouble. But it looks like the Narnia Lions have finished them off here on the top. The War Lions of Krace doing a good job. And the Clan Rats with shields also being rode down by Tyrannoc Chariots. Little Scorch effect hitting those Silver Guard. Rod of Corruption corrupting the Silver Guard. And not that much damage. Silver Guard do have good magic resist, so they're going to be somewhat durable against it compared to other units. But still a pretty close game. I think the game, though, probably belongs to the High Elves. I think that Eltharion and the Chariots probably will be able to clean up most of the Skaven army. You also have to remember that the Flamespire Phoenix does have a rebirth. So Liber 1 Shoticus is used on the Flamespire Phoenix, which may lead to a rebirth proc. We'll see. A couple more ticks of Liber 1 Shoticus. Apotheosis going down as well to try and prevent the rebirth ability. Maybe should have just let the rebirth go down, honestly, just to get it to proc. But I guess he wants to keep it on the battlefield. Could have potentially broke off there. So Jezzails are broken here. Skaven, you know what? They still have Council Guard. I didn't really take that into account. And a ton of just troops, really. I mean, Skaven Slaves, Clan Rats, Council Guard still fighting the good fight. This has been a very, very good game, but High Elves do pull ahead, it looks like, here, as the birds do their droppings here. So everybody loves being dropped on here by the pigeons. And now the Flamespire Phoenix, is it going to dive back in for the Terror Route? We definitely want to hit the Skaven in the back. A Council Guard, of course, are unbreakable. Rahagor's Pride chasing down some loose Clan Rats on the edge. Huggington can also bring back the War Lions of Krace. Oh, they're not Rahagor's Pride? Are they just regular Narnia Lions? No, he has both. I think the other ones may have just died. Anyways, here, Big Bird is shaken. The Council Guard swarming all over that thing. The Miststalker's Barrage doing absolutely nothing as usual, which is pretty hilarious. And Eltharion still just kind of bouncing around, doing the best he can. Council Guard only 42 models. Going to be ground to dust for sure by the amount of Silverin and the... Oh, he brought the Scions of Mithlon as well. And now Lord Skrulk is going to pay the classic Skaven Troll toll as he is beaten on by two giant monsters. So here's the steed of Eltharion. I forget the name of his beast, isn't it like... Yeah, I can't remember. Anyways, Eltharion the Grim is going to be ending the stream with the Signs of Mithlon, Rahagre's Pride, all sorts of cool stuff. But big well played to the Skaven. You know, Jason did a great job. I think it's one of the first times I've had him on streamer, as far as I can recall. And also, you know, his army was good, except he needed some mass. If he had a couple ogres, like 2 rat ogres, and just cut some clan rats or something, he could have protected his Jezzails and his mortars better and gotten more value. But the chariots kind of just ran shop. But even still, he made it a very close 8-minute game with good control and good micro. And that's going to be that. It's the last of the Council Guard. Pay the price. Reginald Puggington is the Kingslayer. He is Jaime Lannister. That is going to be that. And that will be bringing the stream to a conclusion as soon as this one does end. Yeah, man. That was a fun one. I know, you guys are all excited. You got to see a High Elf win, and it wasn't just a High Elf win. It was the Warden, the Grim Warden. Skrulk is being left alive to run back to his pestilent lair, where he's going to scheme and brew some nasty concoctions, I'm sure, for the world of men and elves and dwarves and whoever else, you know, he perceives as his enemies. Apparently, Eltharion is OP, yes. All right, my friends. So taking a look here at Ye Old Breakdown, Eltharion the Grim rocking a mighty 723 value. Chariots did pretty good, 800 and 1200 here. Narnia Lions, oh, 1600 on these Narnia Lions. Yeah, nice. Silver and Guard, of course, performing. And yeah, honestly, Shaston, this build, not bad. What I would probably do if I were you is cut 1 Jezzail, and like maybe like 2 clan rats or something, or like 2 Jezzail, cut a Jezzail, cut like, you know, a wolf rat, and then, you know, you got it, maybe the tail slashers or something. You just need like 2 ogres in that build, and then you're going to be good. Like, good play though, good play on both sides. So thank you guys all for joining. The winner at the end of the stream is going to be Ice Power Total War, claiming victory with his 6 wins. So he wins overall today. He will be holding on to the crown as the other kings fell. And thank you guys all for joining. Thank you to the mods for helping out, as always, dropping links to Discord and slaying the Zinch bots as they come and advertise their casinos. Big thanks to Cirrus, Nukes, Ivan, Brandon Morrison, Grey Salvation, Templar Knights, Kulgan, Grey Salvation again. I have no idea how to say your name. Oh my god. That's brutal. You wanted me to dress up like Franz with the 100 NOK, dude. Oh man, I gotta practice that one. Seymour, almost getting me to read that last name there. Kapaja, Grey Salvation, Alex Sear. Thank you guys so much. It was a fun stream. GG, my friends. A lot of Coast, a lot of Dark Elves today, a little bit of High Elf action to end things up, and also some sad moves from the Beastman. If you enjoyed the stream, please do drop a like on the way out. It helps me quite a bit. Helps new people find the channel. And that is it. So, yeah, also, guys, if you want to see Ice Power play more, he does have a YouTube channel. Feel free to link that if you'd like. Or I'll drop a link in the video once it's published and everything a couple hours from now. All right, take care, my friends. Sigmar bless. And we'll see you guys on the other side. Take care.